I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
He just killed a fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
You're happy because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. You're happy because you got nothing. You got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA boxing.
Well. Good evening to everybody out there. This is your host, Mr. BDA, broadcasting to you live from the True North. We're glad to have everybody on board for this special BDA episode. We've got a fantastic one for you because we got some fights. Like we said on Sunday, World Cup fever is over. The time is over. It's time to move on to greener pastures. The greener pastures, that is the fistic world, that is pugilism, and we got to get back on board, right on the train here, because we got some fights coming up on Saturday. We got a lot of drama outside in the boxing world, outside the ring, and before we get down to all of that, we're going to get the business out of the way, fellas. You know the drill. If you want to donate a couple of shekels our way, you're certainly welcome to do so with the Super Chat feature. You can also donate a couple of shekels via the Buy Me a Coffee app, link in the description below. You can join the membership program. That way you get more bang for your buck with special emojis, badges, the whole shebang. And you can also join our Patreon for free or for as little or as much as you want. That's up to you. The most important thing is you continue to like, you subscribe, and you spread that BDA gospel. And speaking of the gospel, shout out to everybody out there. I'm talking about who we got in here. We got Handsome Mechanic. He says, BDA, did you see the Garcia versus Ben Ring Magazine interview? I sure did. We're going to be talking about that today, Handsome Mechanic. Shout out to Handsome Mechanic. Eparukua, Alfredo Contreras, SJW, The Turk, Jaime Raiden, more BDC. We already got a couple of donations coming in here. I see we got Sid Boxing FU. Shout out to Sid Boxing FU for his contribution to the Super Chat. And he says, stop gooning and start the show. Well, I mean, I can do both, right? I can multitask. I don't have to necessarily stop one to do the other. But shout out to Sid Boxing FU. Thank you for your contribution, man. Really appreciate it. And then we also have Jay Will with a contribution as well. And he's got the popcorn emoji. Oh, yeah. High time for entertainment right now. Let me tell you, we got a lot going on. There's a lot to talk about. And we are going to be addressing some of the stuff that happened. I mean, there were some fights from Japan. There was a Kenshiro Teraji ended up fighting. I didn't even know he was fighting Israel Gonzalez, the guy who gave Bam Rodriguez hell. And he also gave Chocolatito a good fight a couple of years ago. So I didn't even know that's the guy that he was fighting. Nevertheless, we're going to address that. We're going to address the Spence versus Tszyu fight coming up. Garcia versus Ben heating up. Potential Bivol versus Beterbiev, maybe even Inoue versus Bam, early 2027. I mean, there's a lot going on, let me tell you. Speaking of going on, we got Sobers and we got Kimbucho jumping in here. Fellas, thank you for jumping in. Let's get started here. We've got, I'm sharing the screen with you guys so you can see it. everything. I mean, what we're going to be talking about. We've got Tszyu taking on Errol Spence this Saturday via Australia, Sydney, Australia. That is the Afterplay Arena. I don't know what that means. Afterpay. Afterpay. I tell you, it was after 4Play Arena. That's where they're going to be holding it. And let me tell you something. There's going to be some banging going on. Someone's getting banged on Saturday. Now, interestingly enough, it's for Australia, and we got Tszyu, who's 27-3 with 18 knockouts. Errol Spence, a veteran at this point, even though we haven't seen him in a while, 28-1 with 22 knockouts. It's going to be in the middleweight division, I believe. Look at this stat. Tszyu is 31, so he's in the peak performance here, prime of his life, physical prime. Errol Spence is 36. I forgot that he was. Yeah, for some reason I still think.
Damn,
I still think.
True. I wasn't even thinking about how old he was.
Exactly. See, you think of these guys as young. I still remember when he was an up and coming prospect. I forget that this 36, and he's been living the.
I thought he was like 32, 33, but I'm like, no, that's the age he had when he fought Crawford.
Jeez, my goodness gracious. Yeah, time doesn't stop for anybody, unfortunately. Now, interestingly enough, I was thinking, well, what time is this whole shebang going to be? Because it's on DAZN and Amazon pay-per-view. You can, if you have DAZN, you can get it there on pay-per-view. Believe it or not, it is pay-per-view. You got to pay to watch this. And also on Amazon Prime. So it says here via DAZN that the time of the start time is 9 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday, with the main event ring walks approximately 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure to get your calendar on for that one, or mark your calendar on for that one. Errol Spence, we saw in the last episode, not sounding too good. And in case anybody missed that, how he's been sounding recently, let me play it for you, and you're gonna see that it's not good. It's not good. That's all I gotta say. Here we go. Hold on a second. Let me just put it up on the screen here. And don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like. Really helps us out. Subscribe if you've yet to do so already. All right. So, yeah, a lot of people are worried for Errol Spence because listen to... Okay, that's not it. Hold on. All right. All right, hold on a second. That's not it. Well, we played it on the last episode. I should have had it here. Okay, here we go. Give me 2 seconds.
With people, bro, I don't dap up people who talk shit, and then when you see me, you want, hey, what's up, buddy? Like, I'm not one of those dudes, bro.
What's he say?
Play them games with people, bro. I don't dap up people who talk shit, and then when you see me, you want, hey, what's up, buddy? Like, I'm not one of those dudes, bro.
What's he say?
I mean, I think we're
Is he drunk right now?
I don't know, man. That's what we were trying to figure out in the last
Southern
episode.
accent. Somebody told me that's his accent. That's normal. That's how they speak over there.
I mean, I know plenty of Texans. They don't sound like that.
What's over there? Where is he from? Houston or Dallas or where?
Let me check.
I don't think people speak like that.
I mean, I know plenty of Texans, and they don't sound like that.
Sounds like he's from Lazy Town.
Yeah. No, he's chill. That's what they always say. He chill. That's why. He just chill.
I don't think he's okay in the head, man.
Well, we'll see, man. Long Island. He was born in Long Island, DeSoto, Texas.
Fuck is that?
I don't know. But I mean, he does not sound okay. And then they were doing the face-off there with Tszyu. He doesn't sound any better. Check this out.
Marry a little lamb. Marry one son.
All right, that's not him, evidently. But I mean, it could have been. You guys didn't know the difference, right? You wouldn't have known.
He was.
I mean,
it was him.
I'm telling you, this dude is not sounding good. People are worried about him. You know, there's still some hope. You remember when Jermell Charlo, or which Charlo was it? Jermell was going to fight Canelo. And when that fight was announced, they were like, this fight is a mismatch, blah, blah, blah. And then as the fight got closer...
No, but even before it was announced, people were saying that they didn't want to see it.
Right, and then as the fight got... the fight got closer, same thing with Dimitri Andrade versus Benavidez. People are like, it's a mismatch. Then as those fights get closer, all of a sudden the conditioning starts kicking in, and people start saying, well, actually, this guy's not that good. These guys are flat-footed. They don't know how to box. They don't know how to cut the ring off, blah, blah, blah. This guy's too fast. He's too slick. And then what happens? Right? So
you're saying who's this guy? You talking about Spence?
Well, that's what I'm starting to see a little bit of that on the internet. Some people are saying Spence is gonna whoop Tszyu. He's gonna come back.
They
stronger.
jumped on the Spence bandwagon now. They're all in it. Maybe they even think, maybe they thought that a lot of these people were saying that Spence should have retired after that Crawford beating, but now that he's coming back, he's like, oh no, he's still good enough to beat all these guys, right? Because he's so talented. We created a poll on the BDA community section, the post section, and 75% and 10,000 people have voted. 75% of people believe Errol Spence Jr. will defeat Tszyu. Is that crazy?
It is. Well, I mean, crazy things have happened in boxing. That's why. Look, crazy things happen in boxing. That's why these guys fight the fights. And, we have seen major upsets before. People having long combat, returning from long combat, from comebacks or long stays outside the ring. And then all of a sudden they pull off the win. But I mean, let's be... If
3 years.
If he pulls it off, it's a major upset. Albeit against a guy who has been taking a couple, a bit of a beating in some of his last fights, Tszyu. But nevertheless, one guy's 31, the other guy's 36. He's been leading, Spence has been leading a wild lifestyle beyond alcohol. Even Crawford told him so. I was like, hey, you know what you're doing. I know what you're doing.
It's not like we're making it up.
Right. And, he was in a car accident, and people like to say, well, he walked away with only a couple of scratches. Yeah, we don't know what that did to his brain. Then we know what, even if you want to argue that nothing happened to his brain in the car accident, how about the beating he took from Crawford? You don't think that, scrambled his noodle a little bit? So this dude, he's up against it. He's up against the mountain, and I mean, these guys, they like to, all of these top dudes, they like to be on stuff, supplements, the snack and all that. That can only help you out so much, man. So
Hey, you said this fight is at 160?
Well, that's what I read in an article a couple of episodes ago, that apparently Spence wanted it. They said it was going to be a catch with a 156 or something like that, and then at the end he said Spence changed it midway through the output of the fight.
So he's obviously not ready. I mean, he's never even fought at 154, right? So he's coming back at 160. He cannot make 154. To me, that's a bad sign, man.
Well, that was a speculation that people were saying that, he realized he wasn't going to be able to cut the weight comfortably, so he just said, let's just do it at 160. Let's just do it at 160, man. Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't know what's going on, man. But okay, I want to hear from other guys. We got Sobers, we got Frank. Guys, thank you for joining us. I mean, what can we realistically expect from Spence? And by the way, I don't know if you guys saw, but I put in the title, McGregor disaster incoming, because this reminds me of what we saw about, 2 weeks ago with Conor McGregor. And then after McGregor lost, after a long layoff and wild living, kind of like Errol Spence, a lot of people came out of the woodwork like, well, what did you expect, you dummies, blah, blah, blah. But there were plenty of people that, as far as I know, who were saying, oh yeah, the guy can pull it, McGregor, the Mac Magician, or whatever they call him, Mystic Mac. What do we think? Realistically, can Errol Spence pull this one off?
Who wants to go in?
Oh, okay.
Just go ahead, Frank.
I'll go. Well, salute BDA. No icebreaker today, huh?
Absolutely.
Salute,
getting
Mr.
right
BDA.
down to
You're
it, man.
back. You're doing a back-to-back shows. You got to pay some bills, right?
There you go, yeah. The massage parlor ain't free, man.
After your World Cup dalliances.
Oh, yeah, the spending sprees. Absolutely. You're absolutely right, man.
Put the picture up. I put Earl Spence. Do you got it on hand? Because I was thinking about it today.
I have it. I'm going to send it to BDA.
Can you show us that?
Yes.
Because I think it speaks volumes. I mean, the guy was he was on the cusp. I mean, we're talking about a guy who was on the cusp of pound for pound. He was, I think he was more beloved than Deontay Wilder. Not that one, the one after the.
No, I sent it. I sent one.
That's the one. That's exactly the one you sent me. I don't know what other picture are you referring to. You said this is my favorite Errol Spence pick. No, I'm kidding. Okay, hold on, let me
it's in my screensaver. So as you're finding it, but yeah, I mean, just the backstory, right? I mean, look at this is who Earl Spence was. He was the favorite of those that 4-letter organization that we all love. I mean, I think he was more loved than Tank Davis, than Deontay Wilder. I mean, he was their poster boy, and I mean, the tears after it, right? But he only has one loss. But why I wanted to show that picture is, I mean, can you really have faith in that? I mean, this is who people want to remember, but that's what I remember. So, I mean, the only good thing that he's facing another guy who's looked just as bad. If you can find the pictures of him versus Fandora, that's the guy he's facing. So I think he has his chance.
It's because you guys don't understand how good Errol Spence was. You guys don't understand. Yeah, this guy was a pound for pounder. He's very talented. It doesn't matter if he's been out of the ring for 3 years. It doesn't matter if he has a crazy lifestyle. It doesn't matter if he got destroyed by Terence Crawford. This guy's he's a talent. He's good enough to make a comeback against Tszyu.
Hold on a second.
I'm joking, by the way.
Also, that's what the one I was looking for. No, I mean, look. We can sit here and speculate. How would a prime Spence would have done against Tszyu? Because I remember at the peak of Errol Spence mania, which I want to say was post Mikey Garcia. That's when people were like, "Oh, and the guy can box." On top of that, he outboxed Mikey Garcia, like little short, fat, slower Mikey Garcia. Yeah, and that was a peak. And I remember people saying, nobody between 140 and 154 can stop him. The only people who have a chance of beating him, are Canelo and Golovkin at 160. That's how far up Spence has to go. And yes, he's fighting at middleweight now, finally, but it's under very different circumstances than these people expected. And then what happened? By the way, that was in 2019, right? The middle of 2019, April or May, I want to say. The Mikey Garcia thing. He takes on Sean Porter. People are saying he's going to walk through. I remember people trolling here in the chat. He's going to walk through him, man down, strap season, or whatever they were always saying. And then Sean Porter gives him hell. And then all of a sudden, it went from he's going to walk through him to, well, nobody has an easy time with Porter. I mean, Porter's legit. Porter's world class. Like, well, where was that sentiment before the fight? So that's how, like the Frank says, that's how highly people thought of Sean Porter. And in a lot of ways, Frank said that some of this demographic loved Spence more than they loved Wilder. I don't know about that, but he was up there. That's for sure. He was up there.
I really, my feeling, I think, because you got to look at the trajectory, right? Well, who dropped first? Was it Wilder or Spence?
It was Wilder. Right? Yes, 2020.
Wilder,
yeah.
Wilder.
Okay, so all their love, you got to imagine all that love and feelings and man crushishness went from Wilder to Spence. You understand what I'm saying? It's like if one of your child becomes Fugazi, your hope goes into the next child, right? You know what I'm trying to say, right? Yes. He comes home, Dad, I gotta tell you something. Like, okay, next one. You had such high hopes for your son, and then he falls off, so you put everything into the new baby.
You know what? That's right. I heard that the famous hypothetical that people come up with, like, which would you rather have, a gay son or a daughter who's a thought, meaning a hua? And there was that bodybuilder guy. They always make memes about him with the song "What Is Love," but slow down. That dude started posting videos of him going out on dates, and then there's this girl. She asked him the same question: "What would you rather have, a son who's gay or a daughter who's a thought?" And the guy was like, I'd set both of them on fire. And she's sitting there shocked. She goes, "Oh my God, that's horrible." And then he just waits a beat, stares at her, and he goes, "Is it though?" That's like, oh, seriously, all calm and refined. Like, is it though? But look, going back to what Frank is saying, yeah, that is a good point that I had overlooked. The timeline factor, the fact that Wilder had already been demolished by 2021. And so Errol Spence then returns in 2022 to take on, because he only fought once, right, in 2020. Didn't fight at all in 2021, then fought in 2022 against Ugas, and that was Wilder. By then, he was already demolished. He'd been demolished or smashed, as the kids like to say, in more ways than one.
Broken.
I mean, I didn't say it. But yeah, so it's true what Frank is saying, that by then the people had migrated a little bit more to Errol Spence. True. Very true. Before we continue this excellent conversation, by the way, the very high class, let me tell you, shout out to Rafael Garza Jr. for his contribution with the super chat. Shout out to Rafael, who says, Ryan, El Hijo de la Raza Garcia versus the winner. Ooh, you're saying Garcia might move up to 160 to fight the winner? Huh.
Oh, okay, that's a good point, because at 160 potential fights, but the future. Okay, first of all, Spence hasn't fought in 3 years, but everybody kind of knew he was going to make a comeback. Even he probably knew that, right? So how come he didn't get ready for that comeback? And why am I asking this question? Because he's obviously not ready, because he's campaigning at 160 now? Or what's the plan? Because, he had all this time to train, and he knew he was going to do a comeback, make a comeback. So, why didn't he get ready for 154? To fight at 154, he can make 154?
That's a very pertinent question. Very
So
pertinent.
did he take this training seriously?
I don't know, man.
Like
That's
this training camp. Like how can, because he's not gonna be fighting at 160. Obviously, that money's at 154. He's coming back to reestablish himself as a big name, and he's looking for those big fights. Those big fights are at 154. So why is he fighting 160? He's not ready.
Yeah, and you know what? That's a good point because 160, there's nothing really much going on there. The news were Denzel Bentley just got upgraded to full WBO champ, if anybody cares about those wordless straps. And you got Carlos Adames, he might be moving up to fight to 168 to fight Iglesias. We haven't heard anything about that, so it could either mean that it's already done and that's why they're not talking too much about it, or it could mean that it's not happening and that's why they're not talking about it. Either way, it seems like Adames is moving up to 168, but there's nothing really at 160. 154, like Bucho said, that's where the action is. So, but
that's where he wants to be. You think he wants to stay? Spence wants to stay at 160? Of course not.
But that's a good question that you brought up. Like he's been out of the ring for 3 years. People are saying, oh yeah, he's kept himself in shape. I think that those reports were from months ago that he was already in shape, getting back in camp, and he can't make weight. So what's going on?
That's what I'm saying.
And then on top of that, okay, look, let's talk about the stylistic matchup here first, because we're speculating a lot about how everything that happened in the past. Let's talk about the future a little bit. They're going to be fighting on Saturday. Tim Tszyu has already fought somebody similar to Errol Spence, and that was Sebastian Fundora. In a lot of ways, Fundora is like Errol Spence. He's a southpaw pressure fighter. He likes to come forward. The only difference is one is about 5'9", and the other one is a freakazoid that's standing about 6 feet 5 inches tall, maybe even more. I don't know. And but Tszyu has already fought a guy like that, and in the first Fundora fight, he was actually getting the best of Fundora for those 2.5 rounds. And then as soon as he got cut, that's when it all went downhill. Now the rematch, there was no cut, at least not early on, and Fundora still had his way with Tszyu. Nevertheless, Tszyu didn't give up, immediately, but then afterwards he just seemed to be too much. So I think that's what, if you're an Errol Spence fan out there, I think that's what they're hoping for, guys. They're hoping that Errol Spence is going to keep on chugging forward, working Tim Tszyu over, landing those body shots, and Tszyu is eventually going to capitulate. Again, there's no, Spence is not a guy that overtly relies on speed because he never really had that world-class type of speed. He's more of he was quick in his prime. He was quick, relatively quick, good timing. Like I said, that the ability to stay on the inside in the pocket and just beat the hell out of a guy by going to the body. But you also need a certain level of resistance for that. You need some wherewithal. You need to watch out for the incoming punches. And we had already seen, even before the Crawford beating, that he wasn't reacting well to punches. 2 fights in a row against Danny Garcia and against Ugas. He gets his mouthpiece knocked out of his mouth, and he looks like he's lost. He looked like an old man forgetting where he lived. He was kind of sad. And at the time, a lot of his fans were like, oh, no, that's what he... I think even Errol Spence said something about like, oh, that's what I always do. That's always my instinct, even in the amateurs. But I remember Chief and Jimmy breaking that down right before the Crawford fight, and that's what's really finally sealed it for me. Like, yeah, this guy ain't beating Crawford. It's just, on top of everything else, that just Crawford was a better fighter than him. The fact that he wasn't reacting well to punches, that's when I looked at it and said, no. So, I don't know, has time helped him heal those injuries, those internal injuries that he may have, those deficiencies? I don't know.
I don't think. Well, listen, he's not in shape or else he would be fighting 154. All right, that's just a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he wants to campaign at 160, then I'm wrong. But I don't think that's the plan. Turbo in the chat says he's not. Fundora is a different animal. That is true.
Yeah, but I didn't say they were exactly alike.
Exactly the same. Yeah, the Turk says Spence relies on matchmaking and excuses. Adam Hurley says Tim Tszyu said Fundora was just too tall. That's exactly what he said. What do you think about that, Mr. BDA? Fundora, I mean, did he beat Tim Tszyu just because he's too tall? Or is there obviously much more to
Well, I mean, there's Mikhail Fox and his brother or cousin, whatever they are. I always get those two confused. They're extremely tall. They're not pulling off this type of wins that Fundora is. So it's it's not just about the height. Fundora knows how. He's learned how to use that because before that he was just fighting on the inside and not always having success. By the way,
it's dumb to say, oh, he's only winning because that's the way he's built. I mean, well, yeah, right. I can say that the only reason Errol Spence was put on the pound for pound list because he was fed a steady diet of fighters that were smaller than him that he could beat up. Right. So you're complaining, you're like, oh, he's too tall. Motherfucker, you're at welterweight when you're in the junior middleweight. What are you doing there? It's silly to say that. It's like, oh, it's like like if someone said Triple G, like, oh, he just hit hard. You know, if he didn't hit so hard, he wouldn't be who he is. Like, what do you mean? That's you know what I'm saying? Like, it all goes together.
Well, I do remember Tszyu right after the in-ring interview post the Fundor when he quit against Fundor in the rematch. He didn't just say that he's too tough. I think he also said he's just a tough mother. You know, we can curse because it's fucker. By the way, you said too tall. Like some people make those excuses. Oh, it's too tall. Sobers, has a woman ever told you that you're too big to accommodate or something like that, or have you ever had the privilege of hearing that complaint?
No. They always they can't get enough. They can't get enough.
There you go. Well, I mean,
all over me like a jungle gym and shit.
You like that fucking tight asshole? You like that fucking tight 18-year-old asshole, huh?
Oh, wait a minute. What's going on here? I mean, Bucho, could you please stop playing those things, man? You take me out of my element here. By the way, that was from the...
Yes. In the chat, Bray says, true, Spence reactions to getting hit after the car wreck were never the same. So, yeah.
And by the way,
he can't take punches anymore, man.
Chief told us that in the last episode. Chief said that him and when it was actually what's his name, Official Scorecard Boxing, aka Steph K. Go check out his channel, very good channel. He said that they saw that Mikey Garcia actually hurt Spence in the fight. Now I watched that fight a couple of times and I missed it, and I gotta go back and rehear which round it was because I didn't do it after the show. But so it wouldn't surprise me even before that. I mean. That's the thing. I remember Spence walking through Kell Brooks' shots, and I remember thinking, whoa, Kell Brook can crack. And the fact that Spence outlasted him, that was pre-accident, by the way. But then I think about it, and I go, well, Kell Brook was already on the decline by then, too. Boiling himself down to 147 after having fought at 160, getting his face wrecked by Golovkin up there at 160, and then going back down. In hindsight, guys, I don't want to discredit Spence too much, but was that win a little overrated?
He went to the UK, so you gotta giving credit for that. But I mean, it wasn't the same Kell Brook. That Kell Brook should never have moved up to 160 to get destroyed, and I do mean destroyed. His face was broken, his eye socket was broken, and eventually his other eye socket was broken, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So, no. I mean, he gets credit, but not that much credit. Like. I don't know how to explain it.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying. That there is some. It doesn't have to be either or. Like either he gets credit or not. No, you can give him some credit. But
he gets credit, but it's not like he went over there to beat like some legend or something like that, you know.
By the way, Phil Miles in the chat says Steve Kim seems to be pretty adamant that a Tszyu win is inevitable. Well, that's why I was asking you guys that. Is this another McGregor Holloway situation where? At the end of on Sunday, whenever we do the post-fight show, are we gonna be thinking what were we thinking? I mean, are we gonna be saying rather what were we thinking? Are we gonna be sitting there saying, of course this was supposed to happen? Fucking guy out of the ring for 3 years after a beating and after a while living, and we thought he was gonna come back and actually do something. Is that something we can expect on Sunday?
I don't know. Can you see Spence winning this fight? That's the question.
Only if the fix is in, and this is boxing, so I can definitely see him winning.
Okay, so I think so most of us are agreeing that Team Tszyu should win this fight. Again, we made a poll here on BDA. 10,000 people voted. 75% say Errol Spence Jr. is gonna win. Is that because they think Spence is that great, or because they don't respect Team Tszyu at all? Yeah, we've seen Team Tszyu get stopped.
Tim Tszyu.
Yeah.
Part of it's because Tim's a white boy.
Exactly. You stole my thunder.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
I was just... Yeah, I agree with Sowers on that.
A white boy that got stopped twice already, I think twice, right?
Because you don't understand. There's nothing worse than losing to a white boy, like literally.
Yeah.
What's worse than losing to a white boy that...
So, imagine that's why they sent Deontay Wilder on a suicide mission 3 times against Tyson Fury.
Yeah, that's a good point. They send that dude on a suicide mission.
Even if he'd beat him just one time, it would negated all the other ones.
Well, that's the thing though. You guys mentioned the poll on the YouTube community. That is a different ecosystem than usually the people that are there. We don't usually see them on this side. It's like different pockets of the BDE universe, for lack of a better term. And so that's why oftentimes you'll see, like, some like Bucho put one weeks ago, like, who wins, Ennis versus Ortiz, and it's overwhelmingly for Ennis. Now that's interesting because we have, for some reason, the reputation that we're the pro-Latino, channel, pro-Mexican. It's like, nah, man, it's you won't see. I mean, how can I say this? It's a hodgepodge here. You got some people that are pro-Mexican. You have
truth. Call it pro-truth here. That's it.
That's what we try to do. I try to keep up with the spirit of like the Free Smoke Friday from Black and Brown and IBFP and all those guys. Like, everybody can jump in here and voice their opinion. I don't have to always like it. You people don't have to like it out there, but we have to give people a voice, and that's what we try to do. And so that those people who like to vote over there, they don't usually comment over here for some reason. I don't know why. So
no, BDA, just to give you a side note here, something important. So again, 10,000 people voted. 75% say Errol Spence Jr. is going to win this fight. But then I'm reading the comments, and I don't see anybody explaining why they think Errol Spence is going to win. Actually, most people say that Tszyu is going to win, or some people are saying, Errol Spence would have probably won in the past, but now I'm not sure. Then where are all these people so a lot of these people just voted and they didn't even comment. Usually people comment after they vote, and they try to explain why they chose a certain boxer. This time around, I don't see anybody trying to explain their position here. Nobody's saying why Errol Spence is going to win this fight.
I mean, look, if they're saying if they think that Spence is going to win and his percentage is high, then Tszyu is going to be doing something great when he lays him out.
Right? Hey, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Or he's going to have to get a lot of credit.
He's hydrated, bro. He ain't dehydrated like the guy that eats jabs and falls down with Crawford, right? So I give him more credit. He's coming in at his weight, 160. That's what he wants.
So you think this is a good thing for Errol Spence? I mean, because I think that he's not ready for this fight because he should be fighting at 154. Because I think that's where he wants to campaign.
He's stronger. He's stronger than what he was in his last fight. He's bigger and stronger. He's not coming in dehydrated. There's no rehydration clause. None of that bullshit Crawford put on him. And so when he gets laid out over here, real quick, I give Tszyu way more credit than that last loss that he had, because that guy that guy drained him and everything. So,
by the way, you guys can curse. It's not Sunday anymore. I was just on Sunday mode for some reason.
I give him way more fucking credit for this fucking win. Shit.
Yeah, man, I gotta tell you, that's
thank you.
But I mean, look, Fu makes it interesting, but I don't think Crawford dehydrated him or anything. By the way, I think both guys actually looked.
Oh yeah, he did.
Crawford
he wanted at 154. He didn't give it to him.
Crawford was not a little guy, by the way. They both had that. They both do that little trick where they have the beard on fight week. They both have that little trick. They do that little trick where they grow the beard on fight week so that you don't see that they're actually cutting weight. And then as soon as that fight was over, fucking Crawford, he hightailed it to 154. And even his trainer after Canelo, before the Canelo fight, said, "Oh, I kept him at 147 to gain that advantage." Because the guy should have been at 160 a long time ago. That's what they said. That's what he said. And there's evidence to back it up.
He's bigger than Spence. And he makes Spence give him a rehydration clause.
But then how's that? But if Crawford's bigger, how does that work for him to have a rehydration clause?
I don't know. Juicing, maybe he doesn't have the issues that Spence has making the weight.
All right, you're gonna get sued.
Maybe the drinking. I'm not sure why he has issues, right?
Crawford's gonna sue you, man.
He had issues for a long time. He said it, dude. He looked like he just stepped out of the Sahara Desert after that fight. You saw the look. His lips were like bone dry. They were all cracked. And he's saying like, "I was great doing."
Are you talking about the Crawford fight?
Yeah, the post-fight interview.
Spence was like, before the fight, dude, he looked emaciated. I'd never seen that dude looking like that. I've never seen that dude. He looked like they made him fight like raw, no sauce. No extra help, nothing. Like, bro, you're gonna fight him and you're gonna piss clean the whole time.
They probably had an NDA.
Weak, he looked frail. He looked frail at the weigh-in. He looked frail when he was taking he could have pushed him over with a strong win.
Well,
he admitted after the fight that he didn't want to fight at that weight. That they wouldn't take the fight without it being at that weight.
I think I remember that shit.
He said it I agreed to take it, and that's my fault.
before the fight, there was even rumors that they might fight at 154. Remember that?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
remember
at
hearing
the
that.
post-fight interview, Crawford shook Spence's hand and he says, "I'll fight you at 154 for the rematch." And then immediately after he wasn't in Spence's face, he said, "I refuse. Only 147." The guy's he's an absolute piece of shit.
Whoa. I think you're a little too rough on Crawford there. A little bit.
No, look, he shook his hand.
I agree.
Handshake
He
agreement. He said, "Yes, I will fight you at 154."
Well, are you
then
telling me that the guy
just
are you telling me that the guy who's always putting his hands on people, dragging his cousin through the floor by grabbing him by the hair, you tell me that the guy that did something to piss people off so badly that they ended up trying to shoot him in the head? The guy who's got the guy who's got like 8 kids with different women or something. I mean, I don't judge, but are you telling me that guy is a little bit dislikable? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, he's a piece of trash.
Well, there you go. I mean, I guess. I
He
mean,
stabbed Spence in the back.
Maybe I'm
that opportunity, and he fucking stabbed him in the back.
Maybe I'm wrong.
What BDA? What they tell him? Like, well, how'd you tell your wife that you got another one pregnant? Nigga got a baby on the way. He just throw this
Got another on the way.
Isn't that the name of a rap song? They got a baby on the way or something. But listen, in terms of the Errol Spence thing, it's interesting. When Dr. 805 made that infamous call here on the show the day after the Spence Crawford, some people said, "Oh, here comes the excuses." First of all, we were neutral in that one. I wasn't rooting for either guy. I picked Crawford, but I wasn't rooting for Crawford just so that my pick would be right. I wasn't really. In fact, I remember telling people, and I didn't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I only said it once because I didn't want to rain on people's parades. But when the fight was announced, I said that I was kind of disappointed that this fight had not taken place in 2019 when it should have. That's all I said because these guys weren't at their best. So I didn't really care one way or the other who won, but. When Dr. 805 called in, people, some Spence fans, well, actually a lot of them, jumped on that bandwagon and took that and rode with it, saying, "Oh, you see, Spence wasn't correct." Other people claimed and said, "No, there's no proof, blah, blah, blah." And then as time has passed on, more evidence has come out to validate what Dr. 805 said, that this dude, one of the counter arguments was, well, Dr. 805 wasn't there in person to examine him. No, but he just said that he looked, that from the base of his experience, the things he has seen, and he's worked with people who have brain injuries and all that, that's what he was exhibiting, those type of signs. And then it turns out that Spence finally admitted it because he didn't want to make excuses after the fight. But years later, he finally admitted, the alcohol that ended up cutting his career short. Crawford knew about it because he told him in a tweet,
knew about it, yeah.
"You better stop that shit," and you know what I'm talking about. That the car, I mean, just everything that we saw from Errol Spence validated that the fact that he was looking like crap in against Ugas. People say, "No, but he dominated Ugas." I mean, when he got hit clean for one of the few times, he looked like he was out of it. Same thing against Danny Garcia. I mean, we've been through this ad nauseum, so I don't want to revisit it, but it's just Errol Spence did this to himself. That's the thing, because I know Crawford fans are like, well, it's not Crawford's fault. No one's saying it's Crawford's fault. But what we're saying is that clearly wasn't 2019 Spence.
Should we wrap this up?
I think it is Crawford's fault because he seems to have he had tons of issues before the guy was shot. Now he's like, oh, there's an easy fight to make now. Oh, Sean Porter. Oh, that's an easy fight to make now. Anytime they're washed, it's an easy fight to make. Oh, Brooke, he washed. Okay, I'll fight him. Oh, Khan, he washed. I'll fight him. Every time they're washed, he fights them.
Why does he sound? Why do you make him sound Asian? Like, oh, wacky hi, wacky.
That's what he's like, Dora couldn't make that one. Could not make that when he got
Errol Spence. I hate him. I hate Errol Spence.
I hate him.
He looked like a man. He looked like a man. That's what
he
looked
like a bitch. Well, look. He could have made the Fandora fight. I can't do that. He said he's too young. Oh, Boots Ennis can't make that one. Guy's too young. Wait. You can't make any fight with a young guy. It's always an old wash guy.
You know what? Well,
no, it's a politics.
Good for Errol Spence. I'm gonna say good for him because you know why? He's a dirty snake too. They did the same thing to Pacquiao. So what goes around comes back.
That's
around.
a good point, recognize. By the way, you sound kind of like you got a sore throat or something. Everything okay?
You all right?
Oh, really? I do.
Oh, maybe it's because you sound. I don't know. It sounds like you're muffled a little bit.
Your phone.
Yeah, it's the phone.
You know what it was? I adjusted my phone. Remember the last time it was like really bad?
Right.
So maybe I did something. How about now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It just sounded.
He had a filter to have a. He put on a filter before. He used to have a filter for a deeper voice. Now he didn't realize he didn't turn it on.
No, you're confusing it. You're confusing it.
Which is still
Butcher, you're spreading the fake news. You're spreading the fake news. He had the filter to look taller. not to make the list.
A filter to look taller.
Yo, does that exist?
Probably.
That's the one I use. Oh shit.
Sorry, I put my filter on. What I was gonna say was that okay. So Butcher, you asked, hey, who wins, or can you see Spence winning? Or I can see him winning, and you know why? I mean, everyone always talks about the technique, the speed, the intangibles. How about this intangible? Who's got that dog? Spence has that dog. I remember that people saying that before the Crawford fight. Why is he gonna win? He just got that dog.
No, but seriously,
easily. Some years ago, definitely before his accident, I would have picked him to crush Tszyu. But now, he's 3 years off. He looks like he's punch drunk. He sounds that way for sure.
I recognize.
Yeah.
It's a 160, by the way. Apparently, Spence wanted it at 160.
Oh, he wanted at 160. That's right.
Yeah.
I heard about
that. What does that tell you about the guy? I mean, I don't know. He should be fighting at 154.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's jacked.
That changes everything because Tszyu is built like a fucking welterweight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not that big.
He's 5'8", by the way. He's 5'8", yeah.
He's not a big 154 pounder, actually, yeah.
Yeah, he's 5'8".
They gave Spence what he wanted.
I mean, think about it in the division, and I'm not saying you judge by height and all that, but in that division, 154. I know this fight is on 160, by the way, but if Tszyu continues campaigning at 154, there's guys like Ortiz, Ennis, they're 5'10", or at least they're listed as being 5'10". Murtazaliev, I think he's 5'11". Same thing with a guy like Boachuk. Fundora, of course, 6'6". I mean, there's some big dudes there, or at least tall guys, and that always presents a problem. And Tszyu, 5'8". He's about the same height as Conor Benn, like a little Wolverine. And so, but yeah, I think if all, I mean, Team Tszyu, by the way, he lost to Fundora and Murtazaliev, but I like how he fights. He does lay beating some people sometimes, like that dude, what was his name? Terrell Gaucher. Gaucher dropped him the first round, and then Tszyu just put a beating on the guy, continually backed him up, had him up against the ropes for most of the fight. He looked like a light version of Golovkin, like a Golovkin light. And so he's pretty good. So if he's on, he should be able to run Errol Spence into plenty of right hands, and we'll see. But you never know. Miracles can happen. It's just that's why they call them miracles.
You mentioned dog, and Tszyu did quit.
That's true.
Right. Against Murtazaliev and against
the great Fundora.
I mean, did he quit against Murtazaliev and then Fundora? I mean, I don't.
No, he didn't quit against Murtazaliev.
I mean, Spence is
exactly. So
puncher, right? It's not a huge puncher.
Yeah, that's the problem.
This guy couldn't even not drop Mikey Garcia, and not too good.
He's a grinder.
I just can't see Spence doing this. I mean, did he even do this at welterweight, like that often? When he fought, when was the last time Spence put on a beating on somebody?
Ugas.
Before Crawford, Ugas?
And that was that was April 2022. Think about everything that's transpired since. That was the last World Cup, by the way. That was right before the the last World Cup. Argentina hadn't even won that crap.
Yep.
I was gonna say shit, but then I sort of.
No, I don't know if you can pull it off. But anyways, I don't know, BD, you want to wrap this topic?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. There's a bunch of other stuff we got to get to, guys. Don't forget to hit the like. Really helps us out. Let me read a couple of comments here real quick, just to see what people were saying about this discussion. Adam Hurley said, if Tszyu doesn't end it early, I think Spence wins. Tszyu said he's coming out blasting. That's what I always say. When I used to be in the industry, I said I'm coming out blasting. What?
I know Bucci wants to move on, but I really think it's a big deal because if Spence wins, you're going to have to go live because it'll be a big deal.
You know what? You're right. That would be for phone calls.
He'll be phone calls.
And next one, did he get executed by Fundora? Didn't he say he wanted to fight Fundora?
Exactly. No, but guys, that's a good question. Well, if Spence wins this fight, do you guys see this as like proof that he's back, or he can challenge all these other guys at 54, or does it mean anything?
No, it don't mean shit. But I don't think he's gonna win, man. I don't even think he's gonna win.
I don't see him winning.
No, I think most people don't. So,
he talks like
except the people who voted. Away. I don't know who these people are.
He sounds like he's one punch away from his dentures coming out. You know?
Seriously. He looks like he's ready to get broken apart.
But you know, I recognize they bring up an excellent point.
Barely holding up.
Nobody should really feel bad about Errol Spence for the old Guatemalan snatcher where they pulled on Pacquiao. And then when he had that accident, which, by the way, people are saying that he was wasted. Some people say that he was running from rappers who were chasing him down. Whatever reason, the guy, he did get charged with
a combination.
Maybe a combination, yeah. The guy got charged with a DUI, and what's the first thing he said when he got out of the hospital and he was given a clean bill of health? Did he apologize? Well, yeah, probably did say that, but he wrote on Instagram or social media, instead of saying, I apologize for my actions, or, this isn't the image I want to portray. No, he said, I'm a beast. And I said, all right, this dude he's not all there, man, mentally.
I think he said I'm unkillable.
He's like Bruce Willis, man.
He's almost living on borrowed time, bro.
Yeah.
You know what?
Hey, but guys,
real quick, Butcher, real quick. If I was Errol Spence, instead of being braggadocious, like I'm a beast, I would have done what Bruce Willis did in Unbreakable, and I started go out there and become a vigilante. There's like a rapist going into people's homes. I try to stop him. A guy drugging women at a bar. That's what I would do with my superpowers. Now, instead, he has to go get shit-faced even more and really wasted his superpowers away. That is absolutely horrendous.
That is true. I was gonna ask. I was gonna say, if you guys are saying that this win would not mean anything for Spence,
I mean, look.
But at the same time, you're saying teams who should win this fight. If Spence wins, you should give him credit, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I just think that I'm saying older. Back in the day, Spence would have beaten Tszyu. I think he would have beat him at any point of Tszyu's career. When he was still relatively healthy, he would have won the fight. Now, I'm not sure. He hasn't fought in 3 years. The last time I seen him fight, he got beat. Terence Crawford put one of the biggest beatings, and in terms of like two A-level fighters going at each other, that I've ever seen. That was the worst beating, one of the worst beatings I've ever seen. So why would I expect him 3 years later, without a fight, to beat Tszyu, who, by the way, is kind of washed up too. Tszyu is not kind of. He's washed up.
Whoa.
Oh, one more thing. Gypsy King, stop hiding, bro. Your team lost. Come out of hiding. Argentina lost. He's talking all that shit. We haven't seen you. Come around. Take your little ass.
Damn.
He's a big Argentina fan.
Yeah. He's a big Argentina
I saw him over at Sober's Discord, and he was getting into it. He's got a theory about why Argentina lost. And how.
I'm sure he does.
Well, let's hear him out if he comes in. Well, he might have a point. You never know, man.
I'm willing to listen. But you know what? He needs to come around. He talked a lot of shit. He bragged. Oh, listen to me. Argentina, they're gonna win. Yeah, Argentina.
Is that what he said?
That's why he was talking.
I'm pretty sure he went crazy after they beat England. But
well, this is the message.
Anyways,
this is the message he left. This is the message he left me, by the way.
Can hear it.
Oh shit!
Can hear it.
My goodness, my apologies.
Play them games with people wrong, dap up people who talk shit, and then when you see me, you want, hey, what's up, buddy? Like I'm not.
Guys, don't forget to hit the like.
That's when he needs somebody to tell him, man, shut up, man. We don't understand.
All right, guys, don't forget to hit the like. This really helps us out. Don't forget, if you want to send us a couple of shekels, keep the gravy train on moving. We certainly appreciate it. We got the Real Food TV here. We got recognized. And hit the like, yes. We got the Real Food TV here. We got recognized. We got Frank. That's Boxing with Frank Bay. We got Sobers. That's Never Sobers with a Z at the end. Go check out his channel as well. We got the co-host Butcher here, co-creator of the channel, and of course myself here, Mr. BDA. And
somebody said it's mini recognize.
Who's mini recognize?
That's what Mr. Pelavaca said. He said recognize sounds like mini recognize.
With the high pitched voice, yeah. Conor Benn versus Ryan Garcia taking place September the 12th. That's a fight that I believe it's gonna sort of start lighting up a little bit more as we get near it. And of course, Mr. Versace, the favorite, had to open up the temple to allow Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia in it. Of course, only after a long purification session involving oils and virgins, bathing them in oils and cleansing them. So they finally got into it, and they have this here, this sit down, as they like to call it. Pretty interesting. When I watch a couple of clips, I want to watch the intro too. Pretty high level stuff here. Check this out, high quality stuff. Look at this. Isn't that's like from the Odyssey?
His fucking face on that.
That's like, isn't that sacrilege? That's like idolization, isn't it?
Is his own coin coming
Yeah,
out?
the golden calf. What the fuck is this, man? Holy shit!
Versace coin.
They're gonna be coming out.
Render onto Mr. Render onto Mr. Versace.
You show them the coin. If you show them the coin, they allow you in the temple.
Oh yeah.
It's like the Continental.
You have any? You need at least 20 Versace coins to get in here.
So yeah, man. Look, okay, and this shirt, by the way, I mean, this guy is stylish. Rick Reno, man, bringing in the style.
Oh, look at that.
That's the priestly robe, that well, not robe, but the priestly attire that you need to wear in order to be led into.
What a shitty gimmick, huh?
Come on, man. It's a good gimmick. What are you talking about? Hold on. Who's being overly critical? We haven't even gotten into the video. He's already
a fat, less white Michael Jackson.
Jeez.
No, he looked like a Beastie Boy.
He does.
The DJing and shit.
Those guys were like they were from Brooklyn, right? But what were they again?
They pretended.
What they were from?
You know what they were.
I'm just asking. They
weren't really from Brooklyn. They were from wealthy Manhattan kids who started a punk band, and then they pretended
they're gay.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
They're originally a punk band.
Yeah, they
gay.
were.
Nah, come on, you recognize what are you doing, man?
They were gay.
There's nothing wrong with being gay unless you're not gay. Then there's something.
I
horrible.
said eight.
Oh, of course you did. Of course, yes.
I mean, look. I'm not going to go into it. Look,
yeah,
they were gay.
You know what? We have a couple of minutes to we have a couple of minutes of video to watch. So I think save your insults, save your vicious insults for the video. We haven't even started it yet. All right. So this is Garcia talking about Conor Benn's abilities and style. That's right.
Ryan Garcia. I mean, I don't think those conditions are going to be applying in this fight. There were the conditions. I don't think Ryan Garcia is going to be dehydrated.
Well, think about it. Think about that too, Bucho. Is okay. Garcia's a quitter, apparently, right? But Tank Davis needed a rehydration clause, a catch weight, a mole in the camp. I mean, that's all. That's you need all of that to fight a quitter, an Instagram model, an Instagram boxer. See, that's why these guys don't want to. Hopefully, I don't think Conor Benn's overlooking Garcia, by the way, because I think the odds makers have Garcia a favorite. But it would be unwise to think that this dude has no heart. He may not have heart. I've said it before. The guy's a bit of a nutcase, a head case, Garcia. But I mean, you don't get to that level without a little bit of heart. So, and again, like I said, all these guys, he's a this, he's a that, and yet they need to put, like Tank Davis had to put a lot of special clauses on the guy. Why? Makes you wonder.
What the fuck was Ryan drinking? What the hell was that?
That looks like a Max. Bucho, can you look that up, please? We'll see what it is. Maybe it's something to clean the system, if you know what I mean. Maybe it cleans you out.
Me, or did he told Ryan, calm down before I go over there and smash your face in?
Yes, that's what he said. Before I smash your glasses,
I would have been like, "Motherfucker, let's do it now."
Yeah,
do that shit right now.
Recognize doesn't mess around.
I don't like that about Ryan Garcia. I don't like that shit. I would be like, "Yeah, do it now." Then I'd have got up and be like, "Do that shit right now."
I remember when we were doing Second Renaissance years ago, and we were playing a video about the dancing tribe members, if you know what I mean. That on September 11, remember the dancing tribes members, and that when they got pulled over by the cops, and they had a van with a bunch. I think they had one of them had like thousands of dollars rolled up in his socks or something like that, on his ankle. And then when they got pulled over, one of the guys told the cops, "No, we're with you. We're on your side." And then I pressed pause, and Reckon goes, "Yeah, I would have been like, you're not on my side. You're not on my side. I don't know you." It was like real quick dismissing the guy, like shutting him down, like, "I don't know you, bro. Like, what side are you on? I don't know who the fuck you are." So that's recognized. He doesn't suffer fools lightly, that's for sure.
You gotta stop. You gotta nip it in the bud.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. Sometimes you can be. I suffer from that. Sometimes I'm a little bit too friendly. I try to assume the best from people, and some people out there are a little bit. You shouldn't be nice with them. That's for sure. And that's, believe me, these guys aren't going to be nice to each other come September the 12th. It doesn't look like it.
Proven. There's a big pair of them. A lot of that. And the
I forgot to show it to you. Look at that. He actually ends up grabbing his balls.
Conor Benn saying that he has balls. He proved it in that Conor Benn fight, in that Chris Eubank Jr. fight. Then Ryan Garcia says, a 36-year-old
and drained on top of that.
And drained. Now he has a point, right? What do you think?
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Reganis.
No, so, damn, Conor Benn is 36.
Yes.
No, Eubank Jr.
I mean, yeah, Eubank Jr.
Yeah. Eubank. And that's what he's saying. He's saying you did that to a 36-year-old who was drained. Now it's the other way around, right? I don't know. I guess, you know, I'm gonna give Ryan Garcia some credit. You know, I don't like the way he told him that he's gonna smash his face in. And he ain't say nothing. But let's continue the interview. I like that. He's coming back with something. Maybe he's gonna say something that might make me say, all right, there we go.
Well, he actually addresses that during the interview, but the fact that if you push him too often, he will push back. Check this out.
Pause that. Okay, I like what he did there. Okay, so Ryan is treating his interview like you would treat a fight, right? So when a guy is coming in and he's got a lot of like anger, sometimes it's best to back off just for that second, right? Just to survive it, because that fire kind of dies down, and then you go in. That's what Ryan Garcia is doing. Yeah, that's what he's doing right now.
Step back.
Yeah.
I feel like Recognize as an instigator. I wouldn't go anywhere with that guy.
He knows all the tricks. Man.
No, listen, Frank. If I'm on your side, and some dude says I'm gonna smash your face in, you better do something, or I'm gonna do something.
Facts. One of us. I mean, I think if you see he's gonna whip my ass, you gonna convince me I'm gonna win though.
I'm jumping in.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Right away. I'm gonna jump in.
Recognize.
So you really want to fight? That's why you're gonna push me to fight.
Right. I'll be like, you better handle that, because we're both gonna get arrested.
Recognize told us a story once, and it's public because he told it on Second Renaissance, and I think he told it here as well. That he ended up beating a guy with a one-punch stoppage. Then the guy woke up and started threatening people in the neighborhood while Recognize had already left. He was in his apartment, and his uncle's like, hey, because the guy was calling him out, like Recognize always says, like Achilles against Hector.
Like, he's doing the Hector moment.
And I think it was Recognize's uncle said, hey, man, better go down there and handle things. So, yeah, Recognize, I mean, he will step up when people tell him to, and you got to watch out, man. He's got those fists.
That dude was insane. That was a crazy. I feel like I almost died that day. But go ahead.
No, yeah, I mean, I can imagine. I mean, the guy wakes up and he still wants to fight. I mean, yeah, that's not a regular.
That's not normal. Yeah, that's not normal.
By the way, shout out to Rapax Trunking Company. Shout out to Rapax Trunking Company 10-4 for his contribution with the super chat. And he says, will Ryan take Spanish speaking lessons? Hell, if Canelo can learn English, Ryan should start speaking Spanish. Mexican with the cuss words.
That is his parents' native tongue. Am I right about that? Garcia's father? No, I think Garcia's father's Mexican American too.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think so. Although I must say,
you guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, after you finish.
No, go ahead.
No, if you guys wanted to hear what's his name again? Ben Spanish.
¡Me make it a bet! ¡Me lo pelas, pendejo! ¡Me lo pelas! ¡Me make it a bet! ¿Qué vas a hacer? ¿Qué vas a hacer? ¿Qué vas a hacer? ¿Qué tú, cabrón? ¿Qué vas a hacer? ¿Hacer algo? Si tú no hablas conmigo para Londres, pendejo.
His Spanish is not that bad.
It's not that bad, but it's not that great.
It's pretty good.
It's better than Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
It's better than Ryan Garcia and Full TV. That's
Who's catching some shrapnel here?
All Ryan Garcia said was triple beat.
That was Conor Benn too, right? That was Conor Benn. Now look, Conor Benn's Spanish is good, but it's not. He's acting like I know more Spanish.
He only knows the curse words.
Yeah, everybody knows. I know curse words in Arabic.
That's probably what he knows.
Yeah, I know curse words in Arabic. That doesn't make me like a big Arabic speaker. By the way, now people are going to start saying I'm CIA.
Like Conor Benn is outshining. Does he seem like Benn is outshining Ryan Garcia? Ryan Garcia seems a little bit more quiet.
He's
kind of like that usually, right? He's usually like that when he's about to beat the crap out of somebody.
Right.
Conor Benn's gonna get knocked out in that fight. It's gonna be pathetic.
Out cold or?
Yeah, I think he's gonna get clean
I
knocked
thought
out.
you were a Zuffa guy. That Conor Benn's the Zuffa dude.
I mean, they're both Zuffa guys actually right now.
Nah, Ryan's
Oh yeah,
not.
kinda.
all the
I mean,
money's
the whole fight. The whole fight's Sufa.
It's all Zuffa.
There's no De La Hoya.
I mean, remember that the way they acted when they asked about De La Hoya's involvement? They're like, so yeah, what is his involvement? And they started laughing. It's like, oh,
There is no involvement. He's not doing
Yeah,
shit.
Ryan doubled down on that too.
oh yeah, on Hawani, right? He was under it today.
Yeah.
or-
Yup.
What
He
he's-
like he worked for me now. That's what it sounded like.
Oh, wow, okay. Nah, see how
Also
Frank
work for
twists
me
things
now.
like. See how Frank twists
Did
things
he
like.
say that?
Like he said, no, it's like the way Frank interprets it. He's like, this is what this is what Ryan Garcia said.
The dick is up your ass, and I am the one, not you, who decides when and if it comes out.
Like that's the way he paints it. And then you really listen to it, it's like nothing close to that. But no, yeah, maybe
Let's
listen.
continue watching.
Maybe that's what it is. It's a co-promotional deal, by the way. So it's De La Hoya. The GBP logo is not even on the posters apparently. So they make of it what you will.
To like talk shit about your opponent, because then you won't get any credit.
Exactly. That's what I said in the
I was
beginning.
thinking that too.
These guys are stuck in the moment. That's what they're not thinking logically here.
Well, what I was thinking, do you want your fighter to be like that?
Well, like Rick and I said, you want him to have a little moxie, a little spunk in his game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just didn't like the part when he said, I'm gonna smash your face in or whatever. He kind of like let that go. Nah, fuck that, bro.
You still with
Okay, I get it. Diffuse the situation. You fight in the ring. Maybe he's not ready for an altercation right now. But fuck that, bro. Somebody tells me that shit, we gotta fight.
I meant it from I'm sure everybody here played sports, right? Or been in the gym, boxing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about Fu. I don't think Fu's boxing.
Shut up.
I haven't heard you talk about your boxing experience.
Fu strikes me as the type of guy that when he was a kid, he was into traditional martial arts. Like some obscure traditional martial art.
No, I train all the time in boxing.
I'm just messing with you, Fu. No, I'm trying to really break it down. Just give me a minute to dissect it. What I'm saying is training with the fighter, or when I was working, like playing sports, my coach didn't really want me talking shit about my opponent, because he felt like if we were clowning the other team, we were going to take them too loosely. You understand what I'm saying?
That's true. The mentality changes in a way, right?
The coach was like, nah, motherfucker, don't be talking shit about him. He might whoop your ass. You better get in there and work hard.
You have to have a healthy fear and respect, right?
Yeah, it's okay, I guess, for the hype, but like your coach or your team needs to really, hopefully behind closed doors, you're not believing that yourself. If you guys understand where I'm coming from.
I understand.
Of course, yeah.
By the way, your coach.
This might be all the show, right? We're watching all the show. Yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah, but I was gonna say Frank's coach sounds like he's got a little jive, and he's like, "Hey man, you better be a motherfucker." Are you being trained by Bomac or something? Is Bomac in your corner?
No, but that's a good point. That's a good point, because you don't want to get into a habit where you look like you're looking past your opponent. You kind of want to keep it like this is a conquest that you're not sure unless you bring your A game.
There it is.
You got to be you got to be 100% ready for this person, because you view him as a threat, and that's the best way to do it. And especially in team sports, you got to do it that way, because not everything always plays its part. And at least with an individual sport, you're basically the commander in chief, right? You're in charge of everything. So you get to I guess do the preparations the way you want them, and make sure that you're in it to win it. The shit talking, I'm okay with it, as long as it's both people. If it's like one person talking shit, that's bad, right? Because, bro, you better back that shit up. You better back that up.
Right, that's true. That's true.
You look so stupid. Let's say you're the only one talking shit, and you're like, I'm gonna knock you out. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And the other guy's like, okay, we'll see. right? And you do anything less than that, you look stupid already, right? God forbid if he beats you.
Don't you put yourself extra additional pressure?
Of
I
course.
mean, you're fighting. Yeah, on top of that.
Yeah, absolutely, you do. You put more pressure on yourself because you got to back that shit up.
Man,
If you're like, oh, I'm a pussy, you know, that guy's a pussy, da 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 da, da, then you're gonna be like, well, what happened, bro? What you got whooped by a pussy?
Mm-hmm.
You know, at the end of the night, you got your ass beat by a guy that you said was a C-level fighter, a la Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. Oh, and by the way, my brother said that he's listening to the show. That's my brother, Monkey Mark.
Right.
Remember when Butcher said, shout out to Monkey
Oh,
Mark.
yeah.
Because there's a guy named Monkey in the chat. That's why.
Butcher, you know, you do that often. You misread people's names when you go, all right, shout out to, and then you completely, you butcher
I think I think I can't read. I have the Floyd syndrome. I can't
dyslexia is what Monkey Mark. Because it was Kung Fu Monkey, or I forget his name in the chat often.
I gotta say this because my brother's like sending me texts right as I'm doing the show with you. He said that Ryan did respond when he said that. He was telling me to calm down. He's like, Ryan actually did respond. He said, "Why don't you try it right now?" Or something to that effect.
Oh,
well, is your brother the one who wrestles or?
Yeah.
Okay, well, of course
him.
he's gonna be calm because you told me he beats the crap out of her, but he could beat the crap. So if you can beat, that's why I'm extra calm in the gym because I just can just manhandle people at will. Now, yeah, granted they're 15-year-olds, but what I'm saying is it's that confidence that comes with knowing that you can dominate in the gym. So I can. That's why I would stay. Like if I'm Ryan Garcia, I would only stay calm to a certain degree. Obviously, if you get put in a corner, then yeah, you have to do something, and that's what he's doing now. He's had enough of it, and he's starting to bark back a little bit. Let's keep watching. By the way, we still have quite a ways to go here.
No, this is getting deep.
Punch your head in.
It is. I get it.
We're here now. That's it. When I say something, I stand on it.
Yeah.
When I say something, I
Damn,
mean
Ryan
it.
looks like the Terminator.
I mean it. 5 rounds or less.
From the first one, right? From the first.
Fuck
like
you,
a puppet.
Metrosexual Terminator.
Yeah, he's from the straight to video porno.
Hey,
He looks like the
and I
guy
stand-
from the third one, the stripper that Arnold Schwarzenegger took his clothes from.
The third one. I've never seen the third
Give me
one.
your clothes.
He goes into like a gay bar and there's village people in there.
No,
And he goes up
really?
he goes up to a guy that's dressed like.
Oh,
Ryan
yeah,
Garcia.
yeah.
Nah, I remember.
And
I
he
only
goes,
saw
"Give
the
me your
movie
clothes."
Give me your clothes.
Someone's trying to tell you something in that movie. With that, what are they
right.
trying to tell you?
Hey, yeah, you can't do that. Wrong.
No
So
clothes,
take off
right?
your jackets.
Washington.
Grab for a reach around.
Oh, all right. Okay, we got to keep moving here. What's going on here? I know it's not a Sunday show.
Hey.
You would not make it past 5.
Yeah, but you talk shit anyway for clicks and views,
got
bro.
you.
That's
I'm
what
just telling
do.
you.
Yeah, but you talk shit.
And you don't.
But I don't listen
And you
to what you're
don't.
saying. I
And
don't
you
listen to
don't.
people who
You
quit.
don't.
I don't listen to people who
Sorry, Mr. Pelavacas goes, nice night for a walk. It's like from the first.
Exactly.
All naked.
quit.
The guy from Mortal Kombat 2 there, playing one of the punks.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to pause it here and say this. Isn't there always something with Ryan Garcia? I really hate that when people go, well, if we get like with Teofimo Lopez too in the press conference for the Rolly Romero fight, if we get a focused Teofimo Lopez, like why isn't he focused? He's a professional fighter, championship level fighter. Why wouldn't he be focused? Isn't there always something in
you should
life?
be ready every fucking fight. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, isn't there something that always happens in life that might irk you? You know, maybe you got cut off at the highway. Maybe your wife is extra whiny. She's on the right. I mean, there's always going to be something. You're going to grasp onto that for an excuse. And I understand why high-level athletes like myself, sometimes we tend to do that because we can't admit sometimes, hey, I really wasn't that good enough. Sometimes you got to look for an excuse. But all the fucking time?
That day, I'll be better tomorrow.
Exactly. And
It's only at A level then. I'll be at A+ in the next one.
Okay, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But the fact that they bring that up from the fact that they bring that up, Ryan Garcia like, you weren't focused. And first of all, I don't believe that if a guy is not focused, even if he is focused, supposedly going into a fight, if he's already getting that out of whack, what I'm saying is, if he's already that easily distractible outside the ring, then chances are you can easily distract him inside the ring. If you put him in a corner, if you back him up into a wall, chances are he might not want to go through that wall. You get what I'm saying? Because there's a little bit of weakness there, a little bit of frailty. And so I don't like that when they go, well, if you show up focused, like, why? Even if he shows up focused,
you should be focused.
Exactly.
Into it, but heading into the Barrios fight, you said, watch what I do in this fight. My mind is on.
Oh, and by the way, here's a clip. Okay, let me fast forward a little bit. There's a clip that Fu's gonna love. Hopefully he does a video with this. Check this out.
Bad. Then you're gonna be on the floor. Like, what happened? Then I'm gonna finish you off. That's all that's gonna happen.
You're gonna be on the floor, and I'm gonna finish you off.
Look, I got a picture over here of Conor Benn, his parents.
All right, hold on. That's from the show that we're talking about the other day, the movie rather.
Conor Benn's parents. I mean, they had some arguments. That's why he's the way he is right now.
You know, one thing I do got to say about the Barrios win, I think there's some people that are being a little dishonest when it comes to the Barrios win. Nobody ever beat Barrios that way. Who shut him? Who beat him 12 rounds to 0 and knocked him down?
Sorry, repeat that because I was mesmerized by the similarity here between the photo Fu gave and then Conor Benn. What was your what? Who beat?
I think that there's some boxing fans that are being dishonest about when it comes to Ryan Garcia's victory over Barrios.
Okay.
The fact remains that Barrios was the bigger guy. He's been a formidable opponent for everybody. He's given everyone he's been in the ring with issues, right? Ryan Garcia beats him pretty much 12 rounds to 0 with a knockdown.
That's an excellent point. Now, is that a point you made, or is that something your brother texted you and you're taking credit for it?
I mean, look, me and my brother talk a lot. My brother.
It didn't sound like something you would say.
He's a pretty good.
It didn't sound.
He's a pretty good. He's a pretty good student of the game. He sees things for what it is. Right?
We're all boxing analysts here.
Well, I'll say this, man. I'll say this to your point, or maybe your brother's point. I don't know, but yeah, it's a good point because look, Tank Davis did stop Barrios, but Barrios did hurt or stun rather Tank Davis. I believe he was in the 6th or 7th round. I think it was around after he ended up getting dropped. He'd been dropped in. Keith Thurman did put a bit of a whooping on Barrios, but he also got hurt to the body. Thurman did. Remember that where he actually had to spit the mouthpiece and he started running around the ring.
Yeah.
It's true. Ryan Garcia never went through that. Yeah, he couldn't stop the guy, but he dropped him how many times? Once, right? Or twice?
He dropped him once and won every round.
And won every round,
yeah.
First punch, dropped him already.
So it's a good point.
And I think that Barrios had a really good game plan. You know, he was like, Barrios was like, man, this guy's much faster than me. Every time he throws punches, I'm going to aim for his chest. And he was catching Ryan Garcia. And Ryan just
thought he only had a left hand. It turns out he also has a right.
And by the way, real quick.
What I'm saying is that Ryan Garcia was game. He shut it down. When Barrios would do that, he would take a couple of steps back and then come back in, dart kind of back in with combinations and throw Barrios off again, stop his momentum.
Yeah, and by the way, legal tender in the chat says, cut it out. Tank knocked Barrios out, knocked him down several times. Well, the only thing that was being cut was Barrios' weight because there was a dehydration clause on that. So
my point to that fan, my point to that guy in the chat is that Barrios was giving him a good
bitch, but he controlled himself.
Barrios was winning some rounds in that fight. He was actually taking rounds.
I think he won most of the rounds.
Well, real quick to that point. Remember Mayweather running to the corner in the 11th round or preceding the 11th round, running to Tank's corner saying, I don't know if you're ahead. You gotta knock. And I think he was even clapping the way he always does when he talks, when he gets animated. You gotta stop him. I'm just telling you the truth. If I don't tell you the truth, who's gonna? That's what he was saying. Didn't look like that type of person. I never saw
the truth.
Yeah, exactly. I never saw Ryan Garcia's father. His drunk ass telling Ryan Garcia, "Hey man, you gotta win this fight, bro." I never saw that. So yeah, man, that's a good point. Look, we're not, and by the way, nobody's saying that this Barrios fight is a pound for pound win, but we're just putting it into perspective that Ryan Garcia is not a complete and total bum like some people make it out to be.
I'm just saying that when Ryan Garcia, look, I'm like a lot of people. I don't fully trust Ryan Garcia, but when the guy has boxing capability, I mean, this is a guy who's been boxing. He had a good amateur career. He's been doing it since he was a kid, and this notion that he cannot put it all together is crazy, bro. Like he's capable. The problem with him, it's mental. It's not talent, or at least that's what he's shown. Let's see if he could put up another performance, like what Barrios. And what I mean by that he comes in physically, mentally ready for 12 rounds and to win. And whatever the fight calls for. If I got to outbox my man, I outbox him. If I could crush him, I crush him. But you got to be mentally fit for that.
Well, I would argue too. He has got to be spiritually, aware too, because let's not forget he was going at it with the deep state at some point. Garcia was, so he needs to be. He's going to need spiritual armor for that one. That's all I'm saying. Where were we? Oh yeah. We gotta.
He needs to be sexually prepared.
All right. See, I knew someone was gonna say that. I knew someone was gonna make it sexual. I just didn't know.
It was Fu.
He had to be Fu. He's still onto that.
Conor Benn is a piece of shit.
Well, at least you can say piece of ass. Let's keep watching this. I forget where we left off here.
Then I'm gonna finish you off. That's always gonna happen.
Oh yeah. Speaking of sexual, look at it. I'm gonna pin you to the floor and I'm gonna finish you off.
Like, what the hell just hit me? And it's gonna happen over and over and over. And
then it's gonna happen over and over and over. What?
You're gonna get hit and you're gonna be like,
dick slap.
The dick slap, yeah.
What the hell just hit me? And it's gonna happen over and over and over. And then before you know it, you're gonna get so angry and you're gonna run into something bad. And then you're gonna be on the floor. Like, what happened? Then I'm gonna finish you off. That's always gonna happen.
Cool.
Minerals and substance.
He's turning into fucking Aristotle there. Or who was the one? He's talking about epistemology and ontology. He's like, well, what is reality? And let's talk about textures. And
you don't have the four elements.
You're just a collection of atoms. That's all you are.
Exactly.
You know what he should say? You know what? If Ryan could be real disrespectful if he wanted to, he could be like, I'm gonna knock you out the way Chris Eubank's father did your father.
Oh, yeah. If he would, I would have set him off, man. I would have set him off.
Yeah, I know. You're probably
just to recognize laughing there. That's how he would have
evil laugh.
Yeah, that's an evil laugh, man. That's how he would have laughed after saying that to Conor Benn's face. Like,
Worse yet, you could say the way Ben Watson knocked your dad out.
Oh,
those cornrows off your head.
That was the first unexpected loss. Losing to Chris Eubank is, in hindsight, and even at the time, is not as much a disappointment than Ben Watson, who wasn't supposed to win that fight at all. That was supposed to be knockout number 23.
Wasn't there also Carl Thompson? Didn't he also beat? Oh no, well, that was Eubank, right? What the hell was that?
Carl Thompson, I think, beat Eubank at cruiserweight.
This is the laugh after bringing that zinger to Conor Benn's face. This is what some of you guys on the panel will be doing. That's the Predator laugh. That's actually never sobers, but slow down, so it sounds like the Predator. Hold on. Yeah, that's the Predator laugh right there, man.
That's a nice laugh.
No, it's like
that's
similar.
sobers.
What an asshole!
That's how close it is.
That sounded like the laugh off the
That's Vincent Price, isn't it?
No, that's the Predator laugh. Yeah.
They must have sampled Vincent Price.
Oh, I know. I see. That's fool. He watches these fucking old movies from the 50s. Vincent Price. I mean, what are you doing?
Well, I mean, that sounds just like the laugh at the end of Thriller, which was Vincent Price.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna start kicking people out, man. I don't know what you get. Yeah, Vincent Price.
Okay, it was sober.
The old Frankenstein movies with the shitty makeup.
Let me throw another wrinkle in there. The first one that deeper voice sounded like the laugh at the end of each stage of Kung Fu Master.
Throw another wrinkle. How about I throw you off the panel? How about that? Because I'm getting sick of this.
Oh, whoa.
All right.
Well, this would not be the first panel I've been thrown off of.
Oh.
It's happening again.
All right, now let's
What's that background noise? It's like somebody's in the fridge.
Someone's in the boiler room.
Oh, sorry.
It's recognized.
You can tell he's in a hallway with a bunch of vending machines or something. Man, I need some chocolate bars, man. That sound pretty good right now. Look, where were we? This Conor Benn thing here. Maybe get a crunch bar. That's the other thing. The other day, Fu was talking about the bad guy from Die Hard stealing the candy bar, the crunch bar. And I said, fuck, I started getting a hankering for a crunch bar.
You ever seen the movie Congo?
Yes.
Guy talks about his sesame
Yes.
cake.
Oh yeah, my sesame cake. What was it? Sesame seed cake.
Stop eating my sesame cake.
That was an okay movie if you think about it.
It wasn't that bad. It was people talk shit about it, but don't sleep on Congo.
Shooting monkeys at
Grow
you.
on you.
I think
Watch it. That I really watched. Been 2 hours of my life watching that, but after you go back and watch it another couple times, like okay, I can't watch this on a Saturday night when there's nothing else to do.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with it.
Good lava effects. I'll give it to him. I mean, it was sort of like a modern King Kong. It's like they brought back.
All
King
right, don't
Kong,
go
just
too far. Don't go too far. And by the
just
way,
with
it sounded,
Little King-
food. The
Little
way
King
it
Kong.
sounded like you said, because maybe I think you cut off there a little bit. I think it sounded like you said, "Don't go to the Congo." So now we're gonna get complaints for people saying you're
Congo?
badmouthing the Congo. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they did go to the
No,
World
it's
Cup.
called Congo. It's
I
the
mean,
movie called Congo.
it is a jungle. It is a jungle. So
Right, who's this? You
not
can't
just a-
go- that you're supposed to go to the jungle. There's a lot to do there. All right, let's keep watching these clips here. Excuse me, we're almost done here. We've got Garcia. Okay, so you heard that. Garcia is saying there's only so much the brain can take before it shuts off. So he's kind of banking on his power a little bit there to bail him out. That's his big weapon that he's going to be using.
That's it.
Bing, bing.
That's
You
it.
were getting hit
That's it,
crazy, bro.
Listen,
It was
listen.
pretty sad to
It's like
see.
so petty.
It
It's
is
like,
Was that?
Can't get over the Terminator look, and that Conor Ben looks like an alien.
Yeah, I know. I can't stop seeing it now, man.
but yeah, you
I
go
can't
swimming, you
stop
get wet. That's
Devin
fine.
Haney didn't even
I
get
don't
hit
quit.
once by him.
I don't quit. That's
Hey, how come I missed? Okay, I missed a little part here where he's talking about Conor. Now he
Why
starts
do they
getting
have, like security in the back. You notice that they now have security guards. I think they took the whole Versace Temple thing that we were talking about a while back to heart. Because look, doesn't it look even more intimidating now?
Well, it's because
We have,
these
like,
two
Mr.
guys.
Versace
Yeah,
and
and
security
they'll have the
guard.
same tattoos. They'll have the same tattoos, like they're from sort of a cult or something.
We were talking
Yeah.
about that food. That these guys, I think they have to be eunuchs, and they're born and bred in that and raised rather born and raised in that Versace temple. It's like there's some sort of religious
I
undertones
think they
there.
come out of the ground.
He's really getting into it now, right?
Was that?
He's really getting into his Versace role.
Absolutely.
Like, as,
He's
near
becoming. He's
dictator.
getting possessed by the Versace spirit. That's what's happening. He's becoming the Versace demon.
Don't like the outfit today. Not a good look.
I mean, look, this isn't the E channel here.
Come
Here
back.
we go.
Yeah, new record was gonna jump in now.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
But you
I'll put it out there. We can keep talking. I already said it. If you even try it, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out. So make your move.
But it is interesting the contrast of how Conor Benz said, "Hey, let's get physical," and Ryan Garcia just let it slide. But then, as soon as Garcia brings it up, you can hear Conor Benz like he starts breathing like Mel Gibson in that phone call. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like yeah, but he starts growling like he can't control himself as soon as.
Yeah, because he got him. Like he got him. He put him in a position where like you gotta do something, or what are you gonna do?
But what I'm saying is when
Heart rate up all up.
But what I'm saying is that when Conor Ben brings up physicality like that, Ryan lets it slide the first time. But as soon as Ryan Garcia brings it up, then Conor Ben can control. He can't let it slide. Is what I'm saying. That's the difference. One guy can let it slide for a little bit. The other guy can't at all. It's weird.
Ryan knows it's a show and talking trash. For some reason, Conor Ben, like you said, everything goes to violence to him when you get under his skin. And so Ryan's observing this. Ryan's not a genius. He's not the most talented guy in the world, but recognizing I've talked about this offline. He's getting better. He's really trying to get better. And he's learning the ins and outs of the game outside of just being in the ring. And so he tried it with Devin Haney. He walked right up to him at some event. And just got right up in his face, started talking trash, got under his skin. And regardless of the Austrian and everything else that came about, he countered him and beat him down because he played right into his hands. Ryan he wanted to try and put a hurting on him to try and demonstrate something, and Ryan just waited and countered him. And so from learning from that, especially learning from the tank fight also, Ryan knows now how to get under people's skin. He knows people don't like him. He knows that he doesn't care if he gets paid from people wanting him to lose. And if he gets in his opponent's head because they want to beat him that bad, it'll just play into his hand. Now, is his IQ high enough and is he dedicated enough to take advantage of that? Well, he was against Haney. He wasn't against Hank. So that's what makes him so much fun to be around, is because you just don't know. He hasn't had a track record well enough to say that he consistently can do this and come out every time. Sometimes he loses. And that's what makes it more fun.
All right, somebody needs to mute.
Let's recognize again.
Oh.
All right, so
I feel like we're following somebody when I hear recognize.
Come on. All right, this is
the meat locker.
Let's finish. Wait, hold on. Let's rewind. Okay, so this is Ryan Garcia.
I'm behind you.
Oh,
watch out.
This is Ryan Garcia trying to saying that if he pushes me, I'm pushing back. Hold on a second.
Can't hear shit.
Damn it.
I can't hear shit.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Garcia's
bringing up the switch. The switch.
He's getting now. Garcia seems to be agitated though.
Yeah, that's why he turned on the switch.
I mean, the truth is that Conor Benn is the one who's a bitch. He grew up, he's a little spoiled guy.
Yeah, but you notice how
he's a child of a boxing royalty.
Notice how Garcia's a little agitated, and now Conor Benn is being a little bit formal. He's not like, let's get up and fight, because he understands. That's a man. He may not like Garcia, but he understands that Garcia at this point is ready to fight.
Yeah.
What you want to do?
He acts like he had it a lot harder than he really did. I mean, his dad was a boxer, like a superstar boxer in UK. Like, who the fuck is he? He's a gangster with his corn braids.
That's true.
Yeah.
Living in Spain.
Ryan's gonna land
weather in Spain, you know.
Ryan's telling him, bro, I ain't a bitch. Like, look, you're the boxing royalty here. Like, Ryan worked for what he has. This guy, his daddy. He's a nepo bitch.
Why do you gotta say? Why do we say daddy? Why he's daddy?
His daddy's he's a nepo baby when you really look at him.
I mean, if he didn't have that
Chavez Jr.
Yeah, if he didn't have the family name, would we be talking about this guy?
Exactly.
Nah, not the way we're talking about him now.
Right.
He wouldn't be a big. I mean, he would be. Let's just say he had the same talent, the same mouth.
Right. He'll have to prove
shit like that. But he wasn't Conor Benn's son. He was just some Brit. I think he would do maybe pretty decent where he lives at, but he wouldn't be in somebody of interest against Ryan Garcia.
Well, to be in the position where he is right now, he would have to fight a bunch of good boxers, which he did.
Right.
He basically just jumped through the whole thing, right, through the rankings, basically.
Built all in his name, his dad's name.
Yep.
So, no, I think he's more what he's accusing Ryan of. Like, he's trying to you're a bitch and all this. I mean, look, the guy's he's very good at what he does. He won a lot of amateur titles. He's very good in the ring. He just his drinking or whatever. I think that's what's hurting him. The guy definitely is talented, way more talented than Conor Benn. And then you got to add to that, he's just a great businessman. Look what his social media. He's one of the biggest celebrities online, and that isn't just because he's a boxer. I just somehow he was able to do it.
That's a good point, because say what you want about Ryan Garcia, he's managed to build his brand and actually create a brand. Meanwhile, Conor Benn's going at it with the Domino Twitter account page. Remember that when Domino's was cheating on him and they said, "Oh, look, that we have the new Domino's pizza, Conor Benn pizza," and it was a pizza with eggs. And Conor Benn started getting into it. He started getting it with a pizza. Imagine that you get into it with a pizza joint, a pizza shop, like the neighborhood pizza joint.
He's tagging Papa John's on Twitter. That's why your CEO's a racist. That's why your CEO's a racist.
Your pizza sucks now. Yeah, it's like, all right.
What's funny is he got egged and then he still lost.
Oh yeah, that was the
watch that fight.
That was the icing on the cake for him.
Your friend. You don't have any fucking friends except me. And you treat me like shit. So that's why I'm so fucking angry. Because I don't have any friends.
Jeez, poor Mel. Mel sounds kind of lonely, man. Gibson sounds kind of
what he said. You don't have any friends. I'm your only friend, and you treat me like shit.
I fucking hate you.
Sitting there in fucking high heels, bro. You think I'm gonna take you
That's
serious?
fine. That's cool.
You're
I'm not taking you serious with that hair.
You're sitting there
You
in
look
high
stupid.
Bro,
oh wait, now he's going after
You know what? That
did he say that to Mr. Versace, or did he say that Conor Benn?
But I think because I've been listening to Recognize, and I think I know what he's saying. He can tell me if I'm wrong. I think people think they can punk Ryan because he comes across like you can just punk him, and he's just gonna act like a little bitch. But you can't punk this guy
because he's a little sweet. He's a little fruity.
Boy. He's a pretty boy, so they're always trying to punk him, and then they end up getting laid out.
You heard when Adrian Broner told his little buddy, because he said he don't like Ryan Garcia. He was like, no, Ryan Garcia will hurt you. He will literally put you in the hospital. Like he told him, he's like, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, you know, me and Ryan Garcia go at it, kind of clown each other, but I'm Adrian Broner. I could hold myself down. You, my friend, and the guy's a boxer. He's like, he'll kill you. Like he'll literally send you into the shadow realm.
Mm-hmm.
You talking about the Dean character?
Yeah, Dean.
I don't know his name. Yeah, the one that
looks like his little brother.
Yeah. Yes. And he had a problem with Ryan Garcia, and Adrian Broner told him he'll put you in the hospital, bro. That fight would be
He fought
in the ambulance.
He fought Amado Vargas, one of the Vargas brothers.
Oh yeah, the Vargas brothers.
Oh, we're gonna get to them, by the way.
More about that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my favorite subject.
No,
this is what.
He's exactly what I said. He knows what he is.
Yeah, but I said it earlier. They're both trying to be bad guys. You know, and I'm not.
He's saying what I just said. That's exactly what I never even saw this interview. I just know who Conor Benn is. He's a Nepo baby. That's what he is.
And they think Ryan Garcia is just some Instagram shit. And they think
he's trying to shit talk. He's self-built, Ryan Garcia. He has no.
Ryan Garcia is the guy that he has that pretty boy face. He's soft until the boy takes off his shirt, and he's built like Bruce Lee. And then you're like, oh shit, this dude also knows how to fight. Now I'm fucked because I gotta beat this dude. I talked a lot of shit. You know,
like,
he's fuck. I mean, I'm just being honest. A lot of people look at him and they're like, he looks like this is what they see. Okay, trust me. If you've been in the gym, been in the streets, you know this is real. They look at him and they say he's too pretty. He can't fight.
Yeah, it happens to me.
Then when they find out he could, it's like, oh shit. Right? Then when they find out he could, not only he's a pretty boy who could probably take their girls, he could beat them up in a fight too.
That's the thing. That's like that's like with gangsters.
They have zero. That means they have zero leverage over him. At least they got the physical part, right?
Right.
Until they fight him, and then they're like, oh shit, we don't even have that.
It's like with the people that thought once they heard of Gangsta-Fag and they thought, that guy's a gay, he can't fight. But then when they realize he can fight, and not only can he, so if he can fight,
when he's like fucking, he's throwing 10 punches per second, right? And they're all heavy, and you're like, I don't think I can fuck with that. You know, like I think I just stepped in shit.
Right. And if Gangsta-Fag can knock you out, then imagine what he can do afterwards. You know what I mean? That's the scary part. So that's where people start getting.
He's gonna have his way. He's gonna have his way with you afterwards.
That's right. People start getting intimidated. Like somebody said, Gangsta-Fag might be a Fenouik, but he's still a man. He's got man hands. Exactly. So you better watch out if he can throw those hands.
Anybody who's ever been to the gyms in America, in the streets, they know that there's perception on just looking at people. Now, that might be changing. That might be changing. But there's guys like Oscar De La Hoya, there's guys like Ryan Garcia, where you're like, I don't fear this dude at all. And I don't like him because he's a pretty boy. Right? I think he's pretending. Then you find out that he can actually fight. Right? Then that's when shit gets real. Then you're like, damn. Now I'm kind of in a bad situation because I'm talking shit about this guy that he's a pussy, but not only
what do you think?
Not only that he's not, he might be able to beat me too. On top of that,
right? But do you guys think Conor Benn actually believes that, or maybe he's just talking shit?
I think he does. I think he does believe it because he sees the guy, and he looks pretty. He's a pretty boy, so he's probably thinking, I'm a big tough guy. Look at me, I got this mean mug. I'm doing this fake version of Robert De Niro, with the frown face all the time. But then when you really look at him, when you think about it, he's just a straight up fucking Nepo baby. That's all he is.
You talking to me?
Yeah, not.
You must be talking to me because there's nobody else here. No, but you know what's interesting, man? It's true. I think that the way Conor Benn comes across to me is kind of deluded. And he lacks self-awareness. He's always talking about. I just listened to what he said with the Eddie Hearn thing. Like, I didn't want to call him because he was going to be hot-headed. It's like, wait, he's not the hothead. You are. And like Bucho made a great point when we were talking about that, about how the fact that somebody probably stopped Conor Benn from calling Eddie Hearn or talking with him before signing the deal with Zuffa. because Conor Benn was the one who was going to blow a gasket, and that's why they kept him away from calling Eddie Hearn. Because they know this guy's got thin skin. He's, like I said, and then he starts talking about my family. You know, I had to make this deal for my family. He's like, you're already making a lot of money. So, I mean, just say you wanted to make more money. Stop bringing your family into it. And again, I think he overrates his abilities. I know all of, like I've said before, most of these guys are on something, some type of special sauce and seasoning. But I think Conor Benn genuinely believes that, no, I'm all natural, you know, as a naturalito. It's like, no, motherfucker, you've been on the X too.
Well, I mean, but look, Ryan kept it relevant to what they're talking
personal
about.
cook, we're undefeatable.
Exactly. Okay? There you go.
But look, this guy started talking about Ryan's ability to speak Spanish, and Ryan just cut through who he just fought, which is a lot more hurtful, you know?
It's true.
Notice he started talking over him when he's speaking now. He's like, oh, you argue like my 12-year-old son, something like that. It's like, bro, but you don't shut that.
And then, well, they try to hit him. They try to hit him with the "you don't speak Spanish" thing, which I'm thinking, well, I mean, there's plenty of people that don't speak any type of language. You can say that about anybody. It's like, hey, you don't speak Cantonese, okay? So no, it's because he's Mexican. He has to speak.
Not relevant, you know,
because
it's not relevant to boxing.
Yeah, I mean, because he's of Mexican descent, he has to speak Spanish. I mean, it's applause. Don't get me wrong, but I don't. It's not quite the flex that guys like Conor Benn think it is. Like, oh yeah, yo hablo más español que tú, and it's not even that great Spanish, by the way. The way he says it.
When you start speaking English,
I mean,
when you speak English in your everyday life, and then you got to speak Spanish. Even if you speak it well, when you speak to people that speak Spanish all day long, right, you feel a little bit intimidated. You just don't want to do it. So I'm sure Ryan Garcia, who grew up in a Spanish household, I'm pretty sure they spoke Spanish there, whether it was his father, his mom, his grandparents, somebody spoke Spanish. And so he picked up on it. Now, does he speak it, perfectly? Probably not. He just probably doesn't feel comfortable speaking Spanish like with the cameras all in his face.
The only time,
it's just not relevant to the fight, Like,
it's not relevant to the fight. Yeah.
It's not, and he's all like, bro, look who you just fought.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's trying to say you're not Mexican, basically. You're not a real Mexican, so you're fake. You're fake in a way. That's what he's trying to say.
Yes,
that's what Conor Benn's a real Mexican.
No, I mean, like, yeah, exactly. That doesn't make sense.
He's trying to say I'm more Mexican than you.
Yeah, that's it. The only time I would pull that card on somebody is if they start harping on the fact that I'm a real Mexican, I'm all Mexican, you're not, and then you would be like, do you even speak Spanish? That's if they're bringing that shit up. Otherwise, I mean, it's not important. Otherwise, it's not really. Yeah, because I've had that some people on YouTube like, your BDA ain't Mexican. Why? Because he doesn't live in Mexico. So you don't either, man. And at least I was born there. I was like, what the? So that's when you get into that type of debate that makes no sense. Who cares, man? At the end of the day, but if they bring it up, then you have to bring it up. But other than that, Conor Benn, I don't know exactly knows. I don't understand what he was getting at because I don't think Ryan Garcia has ever been the. Órale, soy mexicano ese, like he's never been hardcore Aztlán, the return of Aztlán y Kukulkan and all that, Huitzilopochtli type shit.
Amen.
What the fuck? All right, hold on.
I mean, look, is Conor Benn is he really black? I mean, he's fake
black. Wait a minute. Now we're getting into something.
They should start saying that. I don't know. He looks like, look, he's got blonde hair. That's cultural appropriation.
You're talking about Mr. Versace. Oh, okay, because I got Mr. Versace on the screen. I thought you were talking about him.
Versace, he's actually
he's got. They just said that there's a rumor going around that when they tested the DNA of blue bloods, some of the royal families, and that they have alien DNA. So I think Mr. Versace has a. I think Mr. Versace, they injected him with something that's morphing his DNA.
Look how small his fingers are. He's got
all right. Small fingers. Okay. See, now that's the thing. Foo's like a metal detector. Foo's like a metal detector. He just notices everything, man.
Truth to what you're saying.
I wouldn't want to be friends. I wouldn't want to be friends with Foo because he would just break down everything about your appearance.
You imagine spending like $1,000 on that shirt that he's wearing or more.
All right,
that looks like some shit you find at Walmart in like the tennis section that they're getting rid of for $2.
Oh man, Foo's cooking.
It's terrible. It really is.
Final clip here. Final clip about how what would Ryan Garcia do if there wasn't any security around? Ryan has a
Mexican accent.
Why a demon?
You can hear the Mexican accent in Ryan.
Yeah, you're right. It's starting to come out a little bit. Hey, you a demon. You're a demon.
Demon.
Vatos locos for life.
Like,
you
you
have
know,
the brain of a 5-year-old. You have
right, I
that brain
got
IQ
you.
of a
Yeah,
5-year-old.
Yeah, but what Ryan is saying is true, right? Because remember, this fucking guy was like cruising through the whole world, just trying to look for a fight.
Oh yeah,
And,
that's
like,
true. That's true.
He'd be at like at the Kid Choice Awards, He'd be like,
Nickelodeon Awards. Yeah, he was getting slimed at the
Nickelodeon. Stabbed in Spain. Didn't he get stabbed in Spain?
Miley.
No, that was Kell Brook.
Yeah,
that was Kell Brook.
Did he? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Kell Brook,
Brook was
sorry.
right. I think he got stabbed in.
No, Kell Brook. That was Kell Brook.
That was Kell Brook, and the
No,
rumor
Kell
was
Brook.
that he was
Yeah, yeah,
cruising
yeah,
or
you did,
something.
you're right.
He did the same thing, Ben, but he didn't get.
Well,
stabbed.
he tried to pull, the turkey stinky pinky
Oh.
on
Kinda
a regular
good.
guy, and it just didn't work.
All right, hold on. We gotta keep watching.
He's insane.
Ryan
My son's
Andrews
smarter than
Punto
him.
Yeah, I can bet. I mean, it's great. If he is, it's great.
mental. I don't even know. You got it.
Got it.
You got it.
All right.
Like you are
You
the
got
biggest
it.
idiot I've ever
You
met.
got
Got
it.
you.
You
You
got
just call him
I
a
thought
goy?
that'd be
He called him a goy. He called him a
Oh,
Gentile.
goy. Oh shit! Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
was
he
like, what?
did. Say you fucking goy.
I mean,
Like,
it's great. If he is, it's great.
mental. I don't even know. You got it.
Got it. All right.
Like you are
You
the
were
biggest
goy.
idiot I've
You
ever
you
met.
you were goy in it. You were goy in it. You know. You
Like-
understand me?
My credit
You're
score is
goy
better
in
than
it.
yours. Yeah. Well, that's it. That's the.
I can go get a loan right now.
My uncle Ari can get me into the movies. How about yours? You know?
My Uncle Eric.
Now, like Frank said about an hour ago, Ryan Garcia was on the Errol Hawani show, and I think Ryan Garcia, he's very keen on the social media thing because he's saying a lot of the things that most of us have been pointing out that a lot of people, for some reason, the mainstream media seems to want to ignore as it pertains to what happened in the Haney fight. Check this out, and this quite. Well, I'll let you guys see. Hold on a second. All right, here we go.
The fucking hell. Your son was almost face down, ass up. Your son shitted on himself. Think about this. His son shitted on himself in the ring. His mom fainted
Damn.
in the crowd. I gave you the worst mental beating, physical beating, and PTSD for the rest of your life, probably. So don't fuck with me. You guys don't want to fight me. I will turn up on you again and beat the shit out of you. I have his number. He don't want it. He never will want it, and that's it.
Did he the shit on himself part?
He definitely. I have pictures.
Legit?
Of shitted on himself. Yes, I hit him so hard he shitted on himself
In the fight?
in the fight. Yes.
In Brooklyn?
You know when you get hit so bad and you
Yeah,
lose all your bodily
stupid. No, in
functions, you
fucking
can
Mars. Where you think that fight was?
He was filled with goyim slop.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, Errol's gonna call him a goy in a couple of seconds. Hold on.
actually shit
Yeah,
yourself.
Ryan, you're a goyim.
Damn. At the very end?
I think it was one of the first hooks. The first hook I hit him with that took him almost all the way out, which the referee was saving him. People forget that too. I
Emptied
fought the
him out.
referee, I fought the system, I fought everybody that night, and I beat the shit out of him.
It's one of
Remember,
the-
somebody gave it a draw. Remember that?
Yeah.
That's pretty insane too.
Are you filing a lawsuit against?
Anyway, so there you go. So there's Ryan Garcia talking about the infamous, and we have the pictures here. Like IBFP,
Infamous shitting.
He shitted himself, is what it said. Yes.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Me, that means he watches your show because you're the first person I heard say that.
No. I wasn't the first.
Oh, he definitely watches. He watches mine. No doubt about it.
Well, you said the turkey LSG watches yours, right?
No. He brought up the oiling thing in an interview on the other guy, the guy who makes beep sounds now, Max Kellerman. He went on that show and he said he's talking about the oiling.
I don't remember
about
that.
the fighters that's against the rules. He said this on it.
Okay, but I don't understand how that connects to you.
Oh, I'm saying that I'm the only one talking about that.
Oh, okay.
I haven't heard anyone else talk about that.
Well, what I'm getting at with the crapping
I'm
the
Brown
pants.
King here, sort of.
No, yeah, you are. You definitely are. But what I'm trying to get at with the crapping in the pants thing is that IBFP had a good theory. He said that, look, Devin Haney, there's documentation out there of him hanging out with P. Diddy. We know what P. Diddy was about. Then all of a sudden, the guy Haney can't.
leakage.
But that's what he was. That's what IBFP was saying. That there was some anal leakage going. Now that's not the term he used. That's Fu's term, which I think is the proper medical terminology.
Yes.
And indeed, I mean, how else do you account for that? And the fact that Haney has not pressed for a rematch at all. It's been 2 years. People keep making fun of him for this, and he just does not seem interested at all.
Haney, Devin Haney.
He knows
I'm gonna tell you
everything.
right now, Devin Haney is not worried about Keyshawn Davis. He's not worried about little pillow fisted Shakur Stevenson. The reason why he's building himself, trying to get better. That's what I believe he's doing. It's because eventually he wants to fight Ryan Garcia. He knows right now he cannot fuck with him. Now, maybe soon, because you do realize the guy walks around 180, right? It's fucking insane how he walks around 180, but he can make it down to 147. You tell me how the fuck you doing that shit, right? And then on top of that, you're strong. On top of that, you're a strong dude. But Devin Haney is working on himself to beat Ryan Garcia. He doesn't fear little Shakur or Keyshawn Davis. He doesn't fear those guys at all.
Interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Piggybacking off of that, if things work out a certain way, okay, so let's say Ryan wins this fight. I don't know what Haney's going to do at all. But especially if Tszyu beats Rolly, I can see Ryan getting that fight and winning. And then not easily, but I could see him being ahead in that fight. So that would be 2 belts. Watch if that happens. Devin Haney goes to 154 instead of trying a unification fight. There's a lot of cards at play there. But Ryan wins this fight, gets a unification fight. Haney will go to 154 instead of trying to become undisputed. If Ryan's got 2 belts, Haney's going to 154.
Mm-hmm. Well, we can speculate about their moves. Now, the one thing that I am a little bit worried for Keyshawn Davis is the fact that the Haneys really do seem to be interested in the Keyshawn Davis fight. And I recall that the Haneys don't fight anybody unless they see something. That's not a meme like with the Mikey Garcia thing. Oh, I see something. No, they take calculated risks only when they have a chance. And so the fact that I think they probably saw those 24 rounds that Keyshawn Davis won against Nahir Albright, and they're thinking, yeah, we can clinch this guy all night. For sure. Let me read a couple of comments here from the chat because people are bringing some good points. I mean, we talked for about 45 minutes straight, but I want to read what people have to say here. The Turk Solozzo in the chat says, Errol Hawani keeps asking for details about Devin Haney crapping his pants because he has a scat fetish. Certainly possible. Definitely possible. Probably even a fact, I would say. Yeah, probably.
Where? In Brooklyn? Where do I sniff?
Are there any websites you can go to catch something similar? Like, where would you go if you were into that?
Where can I buy it? Can I buy? I mean, can we get those chunks to analyze? That's schnoz. You know, he's gonna be
like Mr. Palavaca says. Also, what's a Mexican American? If you are born in the U.S., isn't that just an American? Well, now we're hitting into a deep discussion because I've said it before. Like, I was born in Mexico, but I've spent decades now here in Canada. So what does that make me? Well, am I not Canadian? But then again, I was born in Mexico. You get into a whole rigmarole thing that really it's not worth it at the end of the day. Rapax Trucking Company says La Raza is all inclusive. However, there is a certain element that wants to divide La Raza. Well, that is interesting. I remember when Bill Haney was like, oh, Raza doesn't accept Ryan Garcia. They don't count him as Raza. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. When it comes to Afro-Anglos, they always talk about, oh, don't talk about us because you don't know our business. Stay out of our business. Meanwhile, this dude wants to get up all up on, like they say in the streets, all up on other people's business. You don't know about Raza. Stay out of Raza. How about that? What else we got here? Hold on a second. The Turk says Haney's loose Diddy hole had stood no chance against Garcia's left foot. Well, there you go. Lapak says the self-hating want to divide La Raza because they are jealous of the buying power of La Raza. Yeah, there is a lot of buying power, that's for sure. Legal Tender says, didn't Ryan admit to being molested? He would know. Yeah, that's the thing about Ryan Garcia. He came up with the whole Bohemian Grove thing before the Haney fight. And then at the end, afterwards, he's like, nah, I was just kidding, bro. It's like, I don't know, you were just kidding. There are people actually who, there's some of that stuff goes on in real life. And you're not for nothing, but you're belittling their plight if you're making fun of that. And then at the end, you just go, I was just joking, bro. I was just trying to sell a fight. I find that distasteful, by the way. Papa Lasoru Circus, I don't know. He's got a hell of an avatar. He says, Ryan will win that fight, Chief. Real quick, Brian Norman versus Ryan would be interesting. Norman by KO says Legal Tender. Bray says DAZN will need to bring out the clinch count for that fight. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think he's talking about Keyshawn Davis versus Haney. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. More BDC says a shot Jose Ramirez did better against Devin Haney than I think he's talking about than Norman. Sakul Bulb says, Gracias España. Oh yeah, everybody loves Spain now, let me tell you. Mr. Pelavaca says Mexican is a nationality. So, well, there you go. People are still a lot of discussion on that. We might have to do a second renaissance on what is Mexican and what are you? What are you? If you're
What is a
born-
Mexican? What makes a Mexican?
There you go. Are you born a Mexican? Okay, so that was the Garcia saying that he shaded Spence, but also, hey, Garcia's throwing out a lot of stuff out there, but other people are throwing stuff right back at him. This is Fernando Vargas Jr., not to be confused with what's his name, Emiliano Vargas, and then the other one. I think this is one of the ones who was getting into a fight in a hotel lobby over a woman. So check out what he had.
Which one is this?
This is Fernando Vargas, the guy who lost to Callum Walsh on the Canelo Crawford undercard.
Yeah, Fernando Jr., yeah.
This beast.
No sabo. You're having a guy from the UK, right? Go ahead and disrespect you in Spanish. It's like, man. I mean, he may not have felt it, but I know Mexicans and Mexican Americans were like, ooh.
You've been talking to your people. What's been the reaction from the familia?
This sounds like a Breakfast Club 101 radio FM interview. I mean, first of all, I'm Mexican. I didn't give a shit about. I was like, oh, he called him out on the no Spanish thing. Oh my god. Oh shit.
Were like, ooh.
You've been talking to your people.
I mean, look, he's hood. Look at that backwards hat.
Yeah, the hat.
Even though his daddy's, that's another Nepo baby.
Uh-oh.
What's he talking about? Nepo baby. He's just like Conor Ben. The same shit. Ryan will probably, I think Ryan lay him out too.
You know, who's the type of disrespectful guy that he would just keep calling that guy to his face? Who's the type of guy that if he met these people in real life, that's all, he wouldn't even call him Fernando. He would just call him Nepo baby. Hey, listen, Nepo baby. I didn't talk to you.
Stupid. He got that hat. He's trying to act all hood. Like, bro, you're a Nepo baby. That's what you are.
You grew up in Beverly Hills. I don't want to hear.
Yeah, he's a bitch.
Listen to Chief.
Who he beat again? Yeah, go ahead.
Listen to Chief getting into it, right? Like, Chief is not holding back. He's got history with the Vargases. So.
Like, yeah, you're right.
Look, they form a CTE after the Trinidad and Mosley fights. Come on.
Oh, you had to bring up the Trinidad beating, man. Come on.
Oh, come on. Yeah, he did. He did beat him.
In the comments of that video, they just say he's a cokehead who's hanging off his dad's coattails.
Oh.
You've been talking to your people. What's been the reaction from the familia? What are people saying?
La familia. What are these guys? MF? Like Mexican mafia or something? Para la familia.
La familia.
What is this interview? What do the cartels say about like he's got the inside scoop on everything?
What's the Emma think about this?
What does La Mano Negra think about all this? Yeah?
We were all like, oh, you should have taken that, Ryan.
Sounds like Dante.
Ryan's a no sabo. You're
Oh shit! Why is this video coming up?
That sounded just as bad as
why did you pull up that? Why did you pull up that video of Big Say So at work?
I mean, so always goes after everybody.
Selling his little water bottles off the freeway.
How do I mute my mic, man? We gotta keep watching this. Hold on.
Talking to your people. What's been the reaction from the familia? What are people saying and thinking?
You know, Pops, he OG. He's like, wow, vato, that I can't believe it. Vato.
He had to throw in the vato. How much you want to make it insane?
What's that accent? What's that? Oh wow. Yeah, we were talking like that 2 seconds ago. We weren't talking like that 2 seconds ago.
Fernando doesn't talk.
Go ahead, Chief.
His dad doesn't talk like that either. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
It's true. Like
his dad is offended by this.
His dad's slurred his speech too much to talk like that.
Yeah, so the conversation probably went like, well, I think the comments were kind of distasteful. Meanwhile, the way he tells it is like, oh, hey, Holmes.
Yeah, come on.
Ay, chingada madre, güey. Se pasó, güey. Like, that's not even what happened.
Fernando was too far away from the
Yeah, that's the music that was playing in the background.
Was that? Yeah, that was the music that was playing in the back.
He's brushing his teeth to that music.
Imagine he goes,
early in the morning.
Hey, tell us about what OG Pop said. Oh, man, check it out, vato. We were eating tacos and enchiladas, you know. We had it right in front of the statue of the Virgin Mary at La Virgen de Guadalupe.
That's a menudo and shit,
You know, we're listening to some Vicente Fernandez, and then you're like, all right, you gotta lay on thick, huh?
Wow, vato, I can't believe it, vato. I'm like, yeah, like, he really did that. Hey, and Connor Ben knows his Spanish for real.
Connor Ben knows his Spanish for real. Spanish for real.
Yeah, Nepo baby, just like I said.
Yeah, I told you, it's a Nepo baby.
Get that belt, campeón, vamos. You got the raza support. I promise you, Mexican Americans. Ya sé que yo no soy de México, pero hablo español muy bien y te apoyamos.
Hey, he's got the accent a little bit though. You got to give Fernando Jr.
It's terrible. Ryan has more of an accent than he does.
I don't know about that.
I'm telling you, he's a Nepo baby.
He said it. He said the Mexican Americans are supporting. Yeah.
He probably grew up majority white area, good schools, all that shit. He didn't grow up in no hood or anything or struggle in any way.
So how do you know though?
His dad just put his dumb ass in the gym and he sucks.
I think he's. I don't know. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't say he sucks, but I mean,
let's get real.
I think the best one is Emiliano Vargas.
I would say this, just to assume that just because someone comes from money, that everything was easy for them is.
I mean, it was easier for him than Ryan.
It's not always how it is.
I think they just hate Ryan because he's fucking self-made.
Well, first of all,
like the fact that he can punch and he's people build him up.
How about the fact that you keep referring to him as Ryan? I think there's a little bias going on here
Garcia.
too, man.
There's a lot of Garcias. I mean, look.
Is he your best friend? Is he your best friend now?
They're saying Ryan. They're using Ryan. Why would I say Garcia?
But they're Nepo babies. Why would you repeat what a Nepo? Why would you go by what a Nepo baby says? You gotta use your own initiative there, fool. That's what I'm saying.
Look at this. The Ryan bot is out there, guys. It's out there.
The Ryan bot? What?
Yeah, it's out there, guys. It was interesting. Short Circuit. You ever saw it?
Yes.
The robot actually has a rainbow flag on him.
No. Oh yeah, it's true. I'm looking at the thumbnail. Yeah, you're right.
Kind of interesting.
Trying to tell you something, huh? They're trying to tell you something.
Yeah. Something.
Yep. That's a second that's another one we got to write down for the second Renaissance. Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like. Really helps us out. Also, this piece of news here that all right, that's not it. Bam. Okay, this was in the news recently. I think yesterday.
True.
What's his name? Eddie Hearn coming out with some news talking about how Naoya Inoue versus Bam Rodriguez has been greenlit. I don't know what they thought. They're using prison speak here. Greenlit. You've been greenlit. But apparently it's been greenlit by The Zone, and we might be getting it on January 2027. Now, some people in the Discord brought up the interesting fact that Bam has a fight in November or December, which means either it will be against a tune-up, and we're talking about an extreme tune-up, or he just simply won't fight on that time frame. Guys, what do you think about this? How interested would you be in Inoue versus Bam?
I think that would be a good fight. I don't think Bam. I don't know. It might be a bridge too far for Bam. Just how I see Inoue going up to 126, that'll be where he makes his death knell. Someone will knock him out there. I think the same thing if Rodriguez really tries to go at it with Inoue, he might get knocked out. And the whole thing about this is a side note, right? But the whole thing with the green lit and the green lighting and the prison talk, and I said this before, BDA. I brought this up, dude. Okay, it's prison rules in boxing. Okay, and 80% of these people don't understand.
That's right.
That's all.
That is right.
That is true.
And Sobers already told me this one. He says, I was talking with my pops, the OG, and he was like, hey, listen, Vato, it's prison rules, Vato. That's what it is, Vato. And it's like, there you go. You're
yeah, I was talking, yep, exactly.
That's exactly how it went down.
I said, say OG, oh killer, oh head, oh cannibal.
Oh cannibal.
He's my pops, right? But he calls me Carnalito. He's like, Carnalito.
He calls you way.
I was like, how come the black folk be getting CTE more than everyone else?
Oh,
he's like, oh, Carnalito, that's a good question. That's I think it's hollow bone theory. They don't have reinforcement inside their bones, so they get the CET faster.
That's Sober's theory right there about why some of them get
hollow bone theory. Wow, that's a good one.
It's patented, by the way. He copyrighted it. So
yeah.
How do you say that? Yeah. Anyway,
copyright. Pan penny.
So anyway, yeah, guys, Inoue versus Bam. Anybody who's interested in that fight? Any of you, or how interested?
I'm interested in it. I'm interested. It should be good.
Yeah, my name's Boxing Chief, and I'm the 80% that doesn't know what Sobro's just talking about. But
we know. Apollo Bone Theory.
Just watch any hood movie, Chief. Just watch any Latino hood movie.
Do your research. Do your research, Holmes.
Closest
Look at
subject
that. All I gotta say is had a monocle. He had a monocle on when he said this.
So anyway, yeah, Bam and Inoue. I agree with what Sobro says. I don't know if I think you might take an L at 126. It doesn't mean it's going to be the end of his career. I think he'll get a belt there. But I think unless he's really on the downside fading soon, which I don't think he is yet, I think he's just past his peak, but not out of it. That'll be too much for Bam.
Interesting. Now, anyone else want to weigh in on that? Bam Inoue?
Yeah, Bam and Inoue, it's strange. I don't know. It's just a strange thing that it seems like the network, the zone, and the broadcasters, because it was wasn't it Larry Merchant that wanted Manny Pacquiao and to move up to fight De La Hoya? Like it was a fantasy fight, and he's the one that mentioned it, and apparently it got juice and they made the network wanted it and they made it happen. So I find this strange. I'm just like, because I do think it's a stretch for Bam Rodriguez, and it just doesn't make any sense unless they want to create a new star. But Bam, even if he beats Inoue, I don't think he becomes a face of boxing or anything like that. It just honestly, it really seems like they want to get one of those guys beat. That's
Interesting.
That's my angle.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, so they can put somebody on number one.
The Crawford Canelo thing that got a lot of articles that like you could extract a lot of it afterwards because it was the big upset, right? It was the big, for a lot of people, it was like, whoa, the guy jumped 2 divisions or whatever, and so you can make an event out of that. So I think they're looking for that type of magic again with Bam coming up in weight. And by the way, it's a lot of similarities too in the sense that Bam, people say, oh, he's coming up in weight, yeah, but the rumor is too he cuts a lot of weight. Just like Crawford, so he wouldn't necessarily have to sacrifice all that much by moving up in weight. Now, some people in the Discord were saying, well, we'd rather see Inoue versus Nakatani, the rematch. And I'm thinking, you know what? There's some unfinished business there too, though.
I mean, Nakatani has the loss. I mean, because it's a pound for pound matchup, right? You have your little Bam Rodriguez going up to what if Bam beating Inoue would be bigger than Crawford beating Canelo.
Yes, that's true.
You're talking about the number one pound for pound fighter on the planet, and he's a monster. He's not a pity pat, dance around kind of guy. He's seek and destroy, and he would put a hole in Bam Rodriguez. I mean, the guy has unreal power. I mean, I don't think that's when I think of that matchup, I just see Inoue's power is next level. Go ahead.
No, just agreeing with you.
I mean, what other fighter has that type of explosiveness in the game right now? Benavidez is somebody has a better word.
A swarmer.
Yeah, and Usyk he's not really a one-punch knockout guy. There you go. Thank you.
He's surgical.
That's why.
He's a dog.
What other guy puts people to sleep with one punch at that level against top guys?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, once Bam beat Puma and didn't just beat him, he dominated him. That's when I said, okay, this dude, he's gonna have to fight somebody. He's gonna have to do something extreme to get some opposition. That rumors were true. When people like Moore and all that in 2024 were saying this guy needs to fight somebody like Inoue, and it's like I thought that was a little bit over. They were jumping the gun a little bit. They were jumping ahead. Then once he beat Puma the way he did, I said, okay, yeah. Now though, people are starting to doubt Bam because the way he looked in his last fight against Cortez or whatever his name was, who was breaking through his guard and doing it quite often. Because I know everybody goes like, well, everybody gets hit in boxing. No, not with Bam. You could tell in his last couple of performances, he wasn't getting hit as much as he did in those few rounds that he spent in there against his last opponent. So there's something there about how he's starting to look weak. In fact, that Kenshiro Taraji beat, like I mentioned earlier, he beat Israel Gonzalez, and Israel Gonzalez gave Bam hell. He also gave Chocolatito a very tough fight. So I'm thinking, I don't know, there are certain styles out there that Bam doesn't look good against. And what do some of these guys have in common? Long-range punchers who can keep him away and who have good stamina. They're not, I hate to say it, but Juan Francisco Estrada, he was past it. Cesar gets on Visay. That was a very good performance from Bam, but the guy was 40 years old and was coming off a 1 year layoff. Now, there's not a whole lot of other guys who could have done that to Cesar on Visay, even with the layoff and all that included. But what I'm saying is, let's keep things into perspective. But yeah, it might. I don't know. Look, I'd want to see the Inoue thing because okay, let's say he loses. Okay, you go back down and you're not supposed to win. You know what I mean? Like according to the bookies and all that. So what does he really lose? He might take a beating because, like you said, this is a different proposition than Canelo. This is a guy who's actually fast, strong, hits hard. He's 31. He's not 34, 35. You're right, though. It's a bigger risk, but I mean,
and he may be asked to go to the land of rising sun.
Oh, to Japan, you're saying?
Yes, he'll be. Not a lot of American fighters are asked to do that.
That's true.
When was the last time they asked one of these pound for pound guys to go do something like that? That's what I'm trying to get a message across to you guys. These other guys don't get asked to do that, and they're really putting the pressure on Bam Rodriguez to have to go do that.
You're right.
And I'm like, go ahead.
Just like what Devin Haney's words ring to mind, right? Always gaslighting, always projecting. When he brings up Mexican fighters, or he's talking to somebody, some guy talks favorably about a Mexican in front of him, happens to be black. He's like, "Are you a black Mexican? What's going on now?" And talking about the situations, always using the race baiting tactics because it's very effective. Like I said, prison rules, And he goes, "Oh, they just have to show up. We have to do more. We have to do everything times 10, or we get no credit. We have to do everything times 10, or we get no credit."
No, but
right, that's why 44 fights in order to get noticed is because it was just handed to him on a silver platter. Same with Canelo,
right?
And 50 belts, and because they don't have to do 10 times more.
Yeah, well,
Herrera, same.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Frank was saying that it's like, yeah, man, like with Shakur Stevenson, some people, I mean, I see pressure on Twitter, but I don't see the media saying, yeah, these guys should move up and fight a junior middleweight or something. They actually protect them. It's the fans who have to demand.
No, BDA. They don't even mention guys in his weight class. Who's gonna call him a bitch for ducking Rayo very openly? Who's gonna call him for bitch for ducking Morataya very openly? Right. Who's gonna call out Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson for pretending like Andy Cruz doesn't exist, like he never existed?
Well, they protect the mainstream media. They actually try to paint it as a love story between him whenever he brings up his friends. And we're gonna talk about that because I have a tweet about that. Whenever he brings up me and Keyshawn, we came up through the ranks, and people are like, you see, like Brian Coster all smile, like he looks like he's tearing up, like he's about to cry. He's like, man, call him out.
You were in the trenches together, weren't you? Tell us about the trenches.
Yeah, yeah, when you had the gas mask on. When the monster gas, what was it they were using?
When you guys had, when you were surrounded by enemies and you had nothing but dead bodies around you, and the only thing you could do was embrace each other. Brotherhood.
When you helped each other out one last time before, it's like, what happened?
When you gave each other a reach around.
Moving on. About this fight, quick question: Where's Bam currently ranked in most places on the pound for pound list?
Top 5 thereabouts.
Top 5. Okay, if and I say it big if because I don't think he can win this fight. But let's just go ahead and say if he does pull it off, where does everybody put him?
Oh, we'd put him number 1.
Everybody else. The panel. What is the panel?
What do you mean everyone else? Like I don't count what?
No, I'm talking about. I don't care what Ring Magazine or ESPN. I'm talking about us boxing heads.
Right.
Where do we put him if he
beats Inoue? A lot of people think Inoue's either number 1 or number 2. Right?
He skyrockets the number 1.
Right.
Just because off the strength.
Most mainstream got him number 1 or no less than 2. But I would say number 1 right now. So if Bam beats him and legitimately beats him, you got to say he's the number 1 pound for pound fighter.
Yep. And you can give the recency bias. You can give the recency bias that Usyk just dropped his belt to not fight his number 1 contender in the Caballero guy. And then you also have Terrence Crawford, who retired instead of facing the music and fighting Canelo in the rematch, right? So those are the other 2 of the top 3 pound for pound fighters. And if Bam is basically a top 5 pound for pound fighter, if he can beat the number 1 guy who's been on fire, yeah.
Well, he should already
skyrockets number 1.
I think he should already be top 5. I think we're all agreeing there, and I think that's what you were saying there also.
Yes.
And being in the top 5, if you can beat the number 1 and move, not to mention, Bam would be moving up again. He's only one weight class away, moving up again. So this would be Bam's what, 3rd or 4th weight class, if he were to pull it off.
Definitely. Look, listen. He would. I think most of us would have him number 1, but I'll tell you how it actually. Because we can't move the needle one way or the other by ourselves. We would need the help of other fellow YouTubers and all that. Because I'll tell you what would happen. Forget about what we think should happen. What would happen if Bam beats Inoue is Bam would become number 2. Inoue would be taking off the number 1 spot, and it would be given to Shakur Stevenson. That's the way it would go. Bam would not be given the number 1 spot. It would be Shakur Stevenson. And then the argument would be, well, he's just been on top longer. He's just paid his dues more. Bam hasn't paid his dues or something like that. Some stupid terminology.
He hasn't had his initiation at the Versace temple yet.
Exactly. He hasn't been bathed in the oils, in the sacred oils, and he hasn't spent a night in the purification chamber where you have to face your demons and your inner demons. Like, well, I mean, come on,
with nothing but socks on,
or with a sock on, if you know what I mean. But the point is that, I mean, it's a good question. Yeah, but I don't know if it's going to Turkey Al-Sheikh seems to want to make it happen. And, he's the one that pays this. He's the one that puts up the money for this event. So what he says might end up going. I'll say one thing about what we have to get going soon. But so I wanted to just say Kenshiro Teraji on Monday ended up becoming a 3 division, if you care about those belts. I think he got the WBC strap.
Can I just real quick? Sorry to interrupt you, BD.
Sure,
I just gotta say this before you switch the subject. They're kind of putting Bam in a he can't get out of this situation. That's what it's like. There's a weird thing going on where they're already kind of setting the table like he'll be a duck if he doesn't jump into it. Because you usually get these acclimate. I need to get acclimated.
Right.
I need to test the waters, and it's like they're just shoving him into that fight. So that's what I don't know. It's a weird situation as trainers already try to kibosh it, kind of like, well, doing the boxing thing, we need to get acclimated. And you see the headlines, like they're throwing him in the fight. Like he really has no option to somehow postpone it.
Hey, you know what's interesting?
And he has to take the challenge after challenge. I'll jump up another weight class. But Shakur Stevenson, oh my God, after what he did after that fight with Zepeda, he never has to take a hard fight again. You can't ask him for shit.
Exactly, yeah. And it's interesting too.
I did it once.
It's interesting too with Bam is like, hey, let's go, quick, get to it. With Crawford, he had a year and a half of planning for the Canelo fight.
That's what I'm saying.
But with Bam, it's like, I mean, again, I'm not sure if that's exactly how it's going. I don't want to, me, I am a conspiracy theorist, but I need to look at the evidence first. But just looking at the overall picture, it does seem, I don't know, they might be, I don't know. I have to wait and see more. I have to read more, I'm going to let Frank do the research. So he'll read between the lines in this whole thing. But I don't know. It's strange things happen in boxing. That's all I say. I'm not trying to tell you that what I'm saying is fact, but just, food for thought.
Well, no, just how some fighters get that they get the year, they get the fight to get acclimated, just how they're treated and how they're kind of throwing this guy no lifeline, like he's gonna have to do this, or he's a duck.
He just won a fight at 118, never been at 122. Now there's no real acclimate, meaning vacant title for him to go up and acclimate himself at a championship level at 122, because all roads lead to Inoue. But that doesn't mean he couldn't take a fight there. It's just there's no, with it's so easy to acclimate yourself with a title fight because there's 4 titles, 4 divisions. Something's always vacant. So there's always a way to go up there without facing the man, while still getting leverage in a situation like this. Bam's got none in this. If Inoue's got everything, if 122 is on lockdown with him, the only thing to do outside just a soft touch at 122 to acclimate the weight for Bam is a title fight. The only person there is Inoue. So it's by just putting this out there for it like that, like what Frank is saying, there's no way really to acclimate. There's only one way to go. So if they're putting this in there, they just slightly start to talk about it. And he's only had one fight at 118 that I know of, and that's the one he just had. Instead of like letting him defend a time or two, it's just like, nope, okay, you already done that one. Straight to Inoue.
And I'll say this too, though, to your point, because Bray is saying in the chat, he's saying, shout out to Bray, he says, That's because Bam and his trainer have done nothing but talk about Inoue in every interview, saying they take that fight and win. They talk themselves into a corner. That is true too. I forgot about that. That is true. They've been bringing him up for a while now, not over a year and a half, but they've been talking about it now. Is that because they told them that's the directive, that's what's coming down the pipeline, or is it because they just want to tell everybody, hey, we're pound for pound and we're that confident? I don't know. That's a good question, but yeah, that's a good point from Bray there. It's like they have been mentioning Bam. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to look more into this. That's why I said it. Let's look into more into this, and then we'll try to come to a specific determination. Now, speaking of determination, we have Uncle Charles joining us here on the panel. Uncle Charles, are you there?
Yes, sir. How y'all doing?
Good to have you on board, man. Good evening to you, Uncle Charles. What's up, man?
Man, I gotta tell y'all, and y'all better learn from life warning signs. Spence need to be careful against Acosta Tszyu.
Okay.
Because Judah did that with his daddy, and he went in there with all that oomph in him and all that fire in him, instead of keeping himself together and paying attention to warning signs. And before he know it, he got clipped on the chin, and he was doing the Papillon worm. This is what I'm talking about. Warning signs, ladies and gentlemen. Warning signs. I tell you, we need to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Now, back in the 70s, Teddy Pendergrass was the greatest singer of all times. But Teddy Pendergrass used to pick women up in a bar at night after a concert. He saw that woman a few clicks out at the bar, so he went on up there. He said, hey, how you doing? She said, I'm doing fine. He said, you know who I am? She said, yeah, I know who you is. You're Teddy Pendergrass. He said, you want me to buy you a drink? He said, yeah, buy me a drink. Hey, get this woman what you want. Warning signs. Warning signs.
Mm-hmm.
But Teddy was drunk, and she was drunk too.
Oh.
He didn't pay attention to warning signs. He didn't pay attention that her throat was big as a bowling ball. He didn't pay attention. He didn't pay attention. He didn't pay attention that her hands was big like Mike Tyson. And he didn't pay attention when he looked down at her feet and it was big as Akeem Olajuwon.
No.
But Teddy kept on going, even though it was a perpetual chance that he might get in trouble. So he gets in the car with her and he takes off. And you know, he running real fast with this car because he got to go dust this off. And so the woman said, look here, just slow down. We're going to get there. Slow down. We're going to get there. Just slow down. And he kept on going. She said, you're not going to slow down. And all of a sudden, she pulled her dress up and she had a wing between her legs.
Oh.
It was a man. Yeah. And scared the hell out of Teddy so damn bad. He lost control of the car. He hit the tree and he got a wheelchair. What was the warning signs? The warning sign is you knew her throat was too big. You knew her hands was too big. And you knew her goddamn feet was too big. But that didn't stop you. What was the result? The result is you lost control, you got some wing, you hit a damn tree, and your ass got a wheelchair. Warning signs. Spence, it's a warning sign for you. Be careful with Costa Tszyu, or you're going to be doing the Papillon worm too. Appreciate it, BDA. Talk to you later.
Well said. Shout out to Uncle Charles. Well said. The warning signs, I mean, they're always there. And people just, some people ignore them. It's like sometimes divinity and grace is there too. It's like that story of the guy who's on top of a building, and there's a flood in the town, and he's on top of the building, and somebody comes over in a boat, goes, "Hey, let's go." He goes, "No, God's gonna save me." Then a helicopter comes along, and "Hey, come on, let's go." No, God's gonna save me. Then the flood overtakes him. The signs were there. God was there. He was sending out the rescue. The guy was thinking, "No, God himself is there." So that's something that Uncle Charles is saying too similar. It's like the warning signs. Sometimes people lose track of the forest for the trees. Or is it the inverse? I always forget it. But anyway, the point is that Uncle Charles's tale remains the same. And he's going to start a debate right now, though, because he said Teddy Pendergrass was the best singer from the 70s. I don't know about that. But shout out to Uncle Charles for that soliloquy right there. So yeah, Tim Tszyu. I keep forgetting Tim Tszyu versus Errol Spence this Saturday. Should be an interesting one. Unfortunately, it's pay-per-view, by the way, so make of that what you will. We were talking about Bam versus Inoue, so that's what they're talking about. Also, after being attacked so vociferously and viciously, I should say, not vociferously, viciously online, people were saying that Bivol is docking Beterbiev. Eddie Hearn has now come out and said that there's not going to be a Colm Smith versus Bivol fight, at least not that he thinks, or that he doesn't believe that's going to happen, and that they're pursuing a third Beterbiev fight. Let me just give you the rundown on that here real quick. As you can see here, it says Eddie Hearn has told the ring that he believes Dmitry Bivol will vacate his WBO light heavyweight title and pursue a trilogy with Artur Beterbiev, which could lead to Callum Smith rematching Joshua Buatsi for the vacant title. Guys, I think this is great news because A, it's telling the WBO to go kick rocks, as they like to say nowadays, and 2, it's for a more meaningful fight. Because not for nothing, but I'm not terribly interested in seeing Bivol against Callum Smith. Not that Callum Smith's a bad fighter, I just would rather see Bivol against Beterbiev the third time. Just to wrap things up, and it's a much better. I think obviously Beterbiev, even with the layoff and all that, will still be a more formidable foe than Callum Smith. And like I said, it tells the WBOA, we don't need your belts. I am the real champ, and that's the way it is. What do you guys think about that? You guys got any thoughts on that? Beterbiev fight possibly happening?
I'm wondering if these boxers really let the online talk get to them.
It should.
Because if I remember correctly, Bivol was acting like he was fit to fight somebody else, and he didn't want to fight. He was turning down the thought of the trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And, everyone's going to say, like, come on, bro, you being a duck. And, those two fights are so close that people are going to say that some people are going to say Beterbiev won both. Some people are going to say it's one apiece. Some people are going to say Bivol won both. They got to fight again.
Mm-hmm.
And then if your whole, and not that he's, fighting Beterbiev is a Hall of Fame feat. And also, really fighting Gilberto Ramirez, that guy's resume, that guy, the name on his resume has also gotten better. But, his biggest claim to fame has been Canelo, right? So if, he's over here looking like, oh, I don't want to fight Beterbiev. Maybe I'll fight Canelo again. It's like, you look like kind of like a bitch.
That's true.
I wonder if the online chatter gets to him.
I think it should, man, to a certain degree. Right? I think it should. Like when it definitely. I mean, when it comes to fight the guys that we want to see you fight, because we're the customers, we're the ones that are paying. I definitely think it should.
But when it's people, I would be like, man, sometimes you can be like, fuck the fans, and you just gotta win.
Sometimes.
Score.
If you open your Twitter page, your Twitter account, and you look at your messages, and a bunch of people telling you, go fuck yourself, you son of a whore, then I would fuck the fans. But sometimes there are some things that we are correct about. Not necessarily the son of a whore thing, but we fight this guy, fight that guy. We know what we want. Speaking of fighting, by the way, check this clip out here. This is from Richardson Hitchens, who was on all the smoke fight. All the smoke fight. That's the channel. It used to be Showtime, by the way. It used to be Showtime's YouTube channel.
Yeah, now it's ATS. All the smoke.
Yeah,
like some random ass weird Ebonics, and you went like, what the hell?
Yeah, and they have the Iraq and Barack show there. I don't know if they simulcast it on the Zone or whatever, but Hitchens was there, and they had to bring up the fact that, hey, what's up with this brother, as IBFP would say. The brothers not fighting each other like that. The whole Avengers team, as they like to call it now. Why aren't you guys fighting? And check out what he had to say.
That was a touching story, did you? That was a touching story.
Yeah, for sure. So how is the dynamic of you and Shakur being who you are? You got a lot of history. You got love for him. And he has a close relationship with Keyshawn.
Yeah.
And Keyshawn's throwing shots at you. Like, do you guys ever discuss that? Is he ever a mediator? Like, yo, I need to stop, going.
A mediator.
Going back and forth.
I mean, to me, what he tells me is like, obviously he be saying he don't want us fighting, but obviously that's a fight the sport of boxing has to see. I think it's just competition. We both in the sport right now that everybody want to prove their best and everybody's hungry. So, I mean, I don't feel like.
So people focused on this part particularly. Let me replay it.
Obviously, he be saying he don't want us fighting, but he be saying he don't want us fighting. He be saying he don't want us fighting.
He be saying he don't want us fighting. Now that's interesting because then people have had it with the whole thing of, hey, these guys don't want to fight each other because they went to the trenches, whatever that means. And like Sobers and Frank and Fu were saying, like, hey, do these guys read the comments on Twitter and all that? They definitely do, and they should. And definitely here in this instance, Shakur Stevenson read it because somebody brought that up. Somebody said, opinion, Shakur Stevenson, I think he's super talented, but this whole not fighting each other thing is stupid. And then Shakur Stevenson replied, y'all motherfuckers so dumb. Y'all act like I just met both of them yesterday, talking about Hitchens and Keyshawn. Go do some history. How do we do so? How are we gonna?
We've been in love for years.
But he says go do some history. That's the last resort of somebody who doesn't want to engage in something. Like when they go do your research. Why don't you just tell me, man? Go do some history.
That's what he told Shannon Sharpie is go do your homework.
Yeah, and how am I supposed to do some homework on the homoerotic history of Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson? Like, is that, can I go some academic, can I go into the Vatican archives and look that up? Like, what is he talking about? Go do some history. And then
you know what, you're right. When you're battling online, people would say, go Google it. Like, bitch, like, what do you mean? Why I gotta Google it?
Yeah, break it down. Yeah, break it down, smart guy. Break it down, smart guy. Yeah.
Smarty pants, yeah. Break it down, smarty pants. Yeah, but they don't. That's the cop out. It's like when we Keyshawn, not Keyshawn, but Conor Benn, when he brings something up and then Ryan Garcia shafts him with it, and then he goes, "It don't matter. It don't matter." But you brought it up. Why did you bring it up if it doesn't matter? It's one similar cop out. So he says, "Go do some history." Me saying I don't want to see them fight means nothing. Of course, I don't want to be in the front row while my men's and them lock in. But it is what it is. It's boxing. First of all, who refers to somebody as my men's? That's a little suspect right there.
They do.
No.
Yeah,
it's a Shakur Stevenson.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing.
My man's. Don't mess with my man's.
I would never call my homeboy my man's. I would never call my friend that. I would never call someone that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yo,
weird.
that's my man's, yo.
No, that sounds like something. That's something.
Well,
sounds like
they say I fuck with him. I fuck with him. I fuck with what?
I fuck
with him.
You fuck with what? His booty hole? Like,
I fuck with him. I fucks him.
Let's put up the voice. Who's putting up the prison voice? What the fuck?
Yeah, there you go.
Got him right now.
But yeah.
Fucks him?
Well, your whole Sober's whole paradigm, prison paradigm, make now reading Shakur makes sense. Like he's
telling you, bro,
like that.
You know what they call that? The war daddy, the toughest one. You know,
isn't that a Mad Max
thing?
The
first time I ever heard that saying "I fucks with him" was in jail.
Oh,
so, think that as you will.
Hey, you guys remember Jean-Jacques Richelieu, who's studying sociology over in Paris? He's the one that was talking about when Zuffa was gonna dip its toes into boxing. He was talking about how Dana White's bald head represents the corporate phallus. He wrote me another one a couple of weeks ago.
That's funny.
He was saying through a contextual I'm not going to read it all because it's long, but he says through a context, because he was actually talking about the Devin Haney versus Tank Davis negotiation, because they were going back and forth a couple of weeks ago on Twitter. It was like, hey, you send me the money. They were actually negotiating online, knowing that they weren't going to fight, and everybody was so hung up on it. It's like, oh my god, they're actually going to fight. No, they weren't. So he had this to say. He says through a contextual reading of the Zuffa and the Saudis' foray into boxing, one can delineate a nascent entente between the Zuffa/Dana White apparatus and the homoerotic boxing world, mainly charged with hypermasculine energy and dominated by the other, in brackets there, i.e. minorities. Using Michel Foucault's framework involving power and knowledge systems, it becomes clear that the whites... Oh, no, hold on, excuse me. That's the original one. What am I doing here? Sorry, but that was the... he says, in the public... Okay, this is the one regarding Tank Davis and Devin Haney when they were going back and forth a couple of weeks ago. In the public war of words between Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis, stemming from a proposed financial split, what presents itself as a commercial negotiation reveals, under the battalion gaze, its deeper ontological truth. It is an erotic ritual, a choreography of transgression, penetration, and the agonistic refusal of submission. For Georges Bataille, eroticism is never reducible to the merely genital. It is the sovereign transgression of the taboo that secures the discontinuous bound self, opening the subject to a terrifying continuity with the other and with death. Boxing, that ritualized theater of corporal violation, already functions as a sublimated erotic encounter. The purse dispute, however, enacts this erotic drama in the suspended interval before physical contact, where the violence is purely symbolic, but no less penetrating. And that's just the first paragraph, by the way. And I gotta tell you, I don't understand half of it, but I think he's making a whole lot of sense. This whole thing...
I just say gay, but it's the first thing that comes to my head.
That's the first thing that comes to my head as well. And that's what he's saying.
It's making me say I don't want to watch boxing anymore. I say to myself, I should stop watching boxing.
Facts.
Well, I would like to break it all down, and I can't read it all, but this part does make some sense. He says, the offered 70-30 split, that's what Tank offered, I think that's what Tank offered Haney. 70-30 split operates as a phallic imposition, an attempt by Davis's camp to assign Haney the subordinate penetrated position within the economic sexual hierarchy of the field. This occurs over the rumor circulating within the public sphere suggesting that Devin Haney, loosely associated with music mogul and sexual assault impresario P. Diddy, was used up and stretched out in exchange for riches. This became known as Diddification, a financial transaction in which the other, in this case the minority Afro-Anglo Devin Haney, delivers his body for goods, just as his ancestors did to the white phallus. Now, see, this is what they do over there in France. They're always talking about colonization, and they're always talking about colonization and reversing that. This, in a way, that's what he's saying, that the boxing business, in a lot of ways, is about the exploitation of minorities. And we don't talk often enough about that. We got the fact that we have to decolonize the sport of boxing. And I don't think anybody's really ready for that conversation. That's my
decolonize boxing. So in this case, the little red bone or yellow bone tank is the colonizer? Is that what it is?
Well, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I understood everything that I did read the essay twice, by the way, and I'm gonna be looking it over again. I got to work on that during the night. I'm gonna drink a lot of coffee to figure that one out. But yes, that whole thing that the Haney offering, Tank Davis offering 70-30 and all that. There's a sexual component going there of like
you know what I did think it was pretty racist when Tank said, "I want big nose next."
I mean, I'm telling you, it's
that was I felt a little racial undertone when he said that, man.
There's something subtle going on there between those guys. I'm telling you, it's about the light skin versus darker skin thing that there's always been that.
Big nose left.
There you go. Yeah. Now, speaking of deals, Teofimo Lopez, I can't believe the zone agreed to this. I don't know what the terms are. I'd like to know. Teofimo Lopez has signed a new deal with the zone, believe it or not. The way this works, apparently, is that Teofimo Lopez has a recent deal with the zone announced on July the 20th, and it's a groundbreaking exclusive multi-fight agreement, according to the press release. Now, what makes this partnership unique, according to them, is that there's going to be a direct deal between the zone and Lopez's own promotional company, the Takeover Promotions LLC. So you have to assume that this is going to grant Lopez maybe a bigger slice of the purse. He doesn't have to give it to somebody else, like Top Rank. Because, again, he's no longer a top-ranked fighter, by the way. That went away quietly, or relatively quiet. But it also means that he will have more flexibility when it comes to picking opponents or to negotiate at least certain fights. And I think that's a problem because Teofimo Lopez has continuously shown that he's difficult to work with. Just look at what happened with Top Rank in 2021. They wanted to do the Vasyl Lomachenko rematch. He's like, well, maybe I might want Lomachenko, I might want Josh Taylor. And then at the end, they offer him what was it again? The Prime. No, that new company that came along and then went away. They offered him more money to fight Kambosos. Lopez had to fight with Top Rank to allow him to take it, and then he took it, and then he lost. Then they offered him Devin Haney last year. Or what was it? No, it was late 2024, right? Late 2024, I believe. Or was it late 2025? I'm getting the timeless mix here. And he goes, oh, no, I'm having a hard time in life. I'm not going to take the fight. So it's like, what? This dude is not difficult. He is difficult to work with. I know he's fought the best, but there's always something with him too. It just gives you a headache if you're an executive. So guys, what do you think? Are we going to be seeing more drama between Teofimo Lopez now and the zone? Or do you think Teofimo Lopez has calmed down now, especially after the Shakur Stevenson loss, and might be a little bit more flexible when it comes to choosing who to fight?
Depends on if you want
after all that throwing the bananas everywhere and whoop-de-woo, and then you got a little cut on your eyebrow after a fight and you're apologizing for slavery that you had absolutely nothing to do with. You're a bitch. You're a cuck. That girl
that being said,
that flight attendant pussy whipped you. Get out of here. I'm done saying. I hope Rolly Romero judo throws his fool out of the ring.
All right, onto a table. Chief, what were you going to say?
Well, I mean, that's the big thing is this conversation. Everything's predicated on the fact that he has to beat Rolly.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't beat Rolly, I'm pretty sure that the deal will either be off the table or highly renegotiated in the network's favor over his.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm also assuming the fact that network thinks that Rolly is going to be a foregone conclusion, and that's why they're already in negotiations like this instead of waiting until after the fight's over. But if he doesn't beat if Rolly pulls off Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez, people are going to start taking him a lot more seriously. but I don't see this happen. I think Tszyu is going to find a way to win. It may not look good, and then this deal will go down. Now, as far as is he going to be more of a drama queen without having to pay the middleman as much, and he gets to take a little bit more, he might be able to make some fights happen a little more often. He might be a little bit more willing to, because the purses that are offered will be just his. There won't be a promotional taken out of it. So if they offer him $8 million to fight Shakur in a rematch, I'm just throwing something out there to try and make it tangible. All 8 of that is going to be his. I mean, minus Uncle Sam's cut and any title sanctioning fees. But instead of having to do all that and pay a manager and a promoter and everything else, being his own promoter now, he gets to keep that extra, I think it's a 33% cut. That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. And you know what's interesting, though? When I read this, because we've been hearing about the zone turning over a new leaf. Supposedly, they're going to put their foot down more as it pertains to making fights and no longer making mismatches because they can't afford to now that they got to compete with Zuffa. And we've often talked about, Chief, about the Roy cut and how these exclusive deals were what hurt HBO back in the day, in the 90s, when they were making exclusive deals with people, and then we would see mismatches like Roy Jones against a sanitation worker or against a plumber. And you know what I mean? It's like, but now this is a little, is this, I'm going to ask you, is it different? Because Teofimo Lopez, technically, it's not an exclusive deal with Lopez per se, it's with his promotional outfit, because that's what the Zone has been doing, right? They got PBC now, they got Matchroom, they got Queensberry, Golden Boy. So is this a deal with Teofimo Lopez, or is it officially? It's technically through a company, so is it different? I mean, is that gonna change anything at all when it comes to a negative aspect of it? But like back in the old
it depend on what this promotional company represents, because there was a point in time when you heard that when HBO was announcing their fights, you'd have main events in association with one-time promotions when it was Keith Thurman, and the Truth Promotions when it was Errol Spence, and it wasn't always HBO doing this, but you would hear those sub companies being mentioned. It was just the fighter rep being paid as an independent contractor through the whole thing through an LLC. And so if he's just representing himself like Mayweather was mainly doing, because Mayweather claimed to be a promoter of a lot of different fighters, but he was successful with none of them because they all left him. The only thing he was successful with was himself. And so those big checks we saw were really his promotional cut, and how much he kept of that, we'll never know, because he's always going through financial problems. But the point is, he didn't have to pay a manager or a promoter, so his cut looked a lot bigger than Shane Mosley. Because Mosley, even though he was part of Golden Boy, his take home was, I don't know what it was, doesn't matter. Golden Boy cut him a check, but it was co-promoted with Mayweather Promotions. So the check they cut to Mayweather was to his LLC. That was the entire promotional cut that he got, and he claimed it was all his. Well, except for Al Heyman and Leonard Ellerby and his bodyguards and his pilots that fly his jets. These are all paid for through his LLC. They all were. And so he talked like he got $32 million a fight, but he had to pay people out of that. Now, how does this relate back over to Tszyu? Is Tio's promotional company going to be acting in the same way that Floyd's was? A check that's going to be cut to quote unquote Tszyu is his promotional company. Is how much of that is he keeping, and how much is that is going to be him not having to have someone else negotiate in his favor? Right. He can make his own decisions, and the cut that's sent to him is his.
Yeah, I think
it's not paid out to everybody else.
I think invariably I asked the same question twice, and you're right though. It might have been just the whole thing with Lopez might have just been the money, because that's what he brought up in the last press conference. Like, I gotta be better. I learned how to be better with my money. Blah blah blah. So something was going on there. And by the way, I think he's divorced recently, so that's gonna take away the.
What was essentially your question, BDA? I like your things in the form of a question. But can I say something real quick? As I was thinking, you guys were talking. Yeah. People say your panel sucks, but
who says that?
I think it's
who said that? Yeah, that sounds passive aggressive. Like you know how people say you're an asshole, and
but I was thinking, I was like, where else? If you can go listen to boxing anywhere, right? But where else will you get philosophical French breakdowns in the boxing as an industrial prison complex? Like you can go hear jabs and hooks and KOs anywhere. But I don't know why anybody said your panel sucks. I think it's been you're not going to get this anywhere else.
I
Trust me.
mean, there's plenty of
one person saying.
There's plenty of
except
good
for recognized. F that dude.
There's whoa, wait a minute. There's plenty of good channels out there. We just try to provide a little bit of food for thought here. We do our best. We try to do our best. That's all I can say. And we appreciate everybody who's been jumping on, everybody listening out there, all the panelists, of course. And by the way, everybody, a big shout out to everybody on Twitter who retweets our stuff, and we try to help them out as well. In fact, by the way, speaking of good videos and friends of this channel and acquaintances and alliances, Artorias Boxing did a video, and I posted it on the Discord. It's the Usyk versus Verhoeven punch count, because Artorias does this fantastic punch count. What do they call them officially? The not recounts, whatever. Anyway, he looks at every single clean shot, because that's another thing that a lot of fans get wrong. Like, well, what's a clean punch? Well, he knows what it is, and he'll show it to you, and he'll be meticulous with it.
What they're watching, that's what it is.
And
He'll show you exactly what it is, won't he?
No, wait a minute. You're taking it too far today, Sobers. That's all I'll say, Mister. Better watch your.
I know what a clean punch is. I don't need whatever his name is.
The point is, yeah, you do need it. You just don't know it. Artorias did that video, and I was rewatching, and it's still, because I know there was a little bit of revisionism later on. It's like, oh, Usyk won that fight. He was winning that fight. You look at that fight, it's nah, man. Maybe it wasn't as one-sided as some people try to make it out to be, or as the commentators. But Verhoeven was landing more.
It was one-sided to me.
I don't know.
And your chat is going crazy on the historical Spanish and Mexican theoretical breakdowns. Mm-hmm. They're really going at it too. So the chat is unique too. But
you know what I always tell people is you don't choose.
Everyone's an anthropologist, man.
I mean, you don't
if
choose.
you see the chat, you looking at it.
Yeah. Everyone's a fucking
anthropologist,
bro.
It's turning into La Voz Astlani here or something. But what else was I gonna say? So yeah, that's a breakdown we were talking about. So Chief and myself, we were talking about the deal there with Teofimo Lopez. We'll see what happens with that. If I'm at DAZN,
I wanted to comment on it. Sorry about that. But what would the question? Is it going to be good for Tszyu or bad for DAZN? Is that what you're asking?
The overall question was, because usually exclusive contracts with a fighter aren't good. They usually don't lead to positive stuff.
Yeah, but it's cutting out the middleman, right? I mean, that's essentially what all businesses want to do is cut out the middleman.
Mm-hmm.
But my counter to that is you need promoters because they bring the talent. If you're a network, you do need them because there's no Teofimo without Top Rank.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, you cut out the middleman, but you're kind of cutting off your nose to spite your face. You need them to bring you the talent. And a lot of fighters, it always sounds good to be like, yeah, I'm my own boss. But a lot of times, you may want to just work. A lot of people don't want to. They don't want to be bosses. Being a boss is hard. Running your own promotion company.
You're telling
show up, fight, give my check, and I'm out. Like, what do I need to worry about tickets and ticket sales and, taking that risk upon myself? So, I mean, it always sounds good. Like, oh yeah, I'm just going to be working with DAZN, but it could be a backfire on DAZN, like you said. Like, yeah, you cut out the middleman, but now you got to deal with this fucker. The promotion kind of keeps the guy in check. Like, they worry about him and training camp and all that. So I don't know how it works now that he doesn't have that for himself. But it could definitely backfire with this Teofimo guy.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
It's kind of like what Roy Jones had. He had an open checkbook to pick almost anybody he wanted to, much like Mayweather started to do later in his career. And that's something that DAZN's going to have to crack down on with dealing with him if they really want to crack down on making good fights. And like, you can represent yourself, but we're going to give you the list of opponents that you have to choose from. And so, like what Frank's just saying there, if he has an open checkbook to fight whoever he wants to, and DAZN's like, hey, we want to do this fight, and well, you're contracted to show my fights. You don't get to tell me who I fight. Unless it's in the contract, they have a say so.
Mm-hmm.
It can backfire because, like you said, he might be difficult to work with. Well, if he's getting a promotional cut either way, and he's making more money now being his own promoter than he was going through Bob Arum, no matter who he fights, and he doesn't care who the opponent is.
Exactly.
So it's going to have to be somewhat in the benefit, the favor of the network also, because they need ratings and they need to make money off of these fights selling big. And the fighter himself, when the fighter is also his own promoter, it's not a conflict of interest, but the interest on necessarily fighting the best is no longer there because the fighter's now acting in their best interest of getting the most money possible for themselves, which is what a promoter's job is on an event. So he doesn't care anymore who he fights, as long as if he can make more money on his own fighting and collecting, like say maybe $8 million a paycheck on the average versus the 12 or so that with the 33% he's gonna have to pay to a promoter, he'd probably just take the 8 fighting nobodies if they're only in it for the money.
Mm-hmm.
Therein lies the problem that I won't say the problem. Therein lies the factors that we don't know yet. Does the zone have a say-so in who he's fighting just because he's his own promoter? Where the negotiations come into play? We're not going to be privy to this, but that is the downside to what I think I'm assuming what Frank is talking about, but that was definitely the case when we talked about the Roy-Cott of what was going on with Roy Jones.
Oh yeah, we're spinning.
Okay, it's going back up. I was scared because every other episode it's gonna happen, right? But I think we're back to normal. Yeah. So anyway, listen. If I'm the zone executive, I'm buying a couple of those stress balls that they sell on Amazon that you can grip to relieve stress. I'm getting myself a mouth guard so I don't grind my teeth in at night because I would expect some sort of stressful times coming from Teofimo Lopez and his father. Could you? He leaves phone calls, by the way. He leaves phone messages on people's machines and phones. Oh, come on, bro! Why are you gonna do this? That's what Eddie Hearn said. They left him messages after the Cambosos fight. How could you do this to me, bro? How could you? It's like, what? Could you imagine waking up in the morning, you want to have your coffee, your toast, whatever, and you gotta listen to that maniac on your phone? My goodness. Also, by the way, 75th year anniversary a couple of days ago of Jersey Joe Walcott knocking out Ezra Charles. Significant because that was the third time they fought. Nobody gave old Jersey Joe Walcott a shot against Ezra Charles, and yet Joe Walcott ended up knocking him out. So it just goes to show you a little lesson there: never give up. The third chance. Don't take no for an answer. Don't listen to what they tell you at school. When she says no means no, sometimes it just means playing hard to get. Also
means yes.
I'm kidding, by the way. Of course, I'm kidding. Another thing, Denzel Bentley. Well, I already said that he's been elevated to the WBO.
What the fuck?
Denzel Bentley's been elevated to the WBO middleweight WBO middleweight champion. That's the good news. The bad news is Yoeli Hernandez is a number 1 contender, and if they mandate him to fight Denzel Bentley, he might not be around long as WBO middleweight champion. Now, this really disturbed me, by the way. This is according to Boxing Scene. Shout out to Boxing Scene. And according to Boxing Scene, James DeGale, Olympic gold medalist, what was it, 2008, I believe? I forget. It seems like a long time now. He's planning a comeback at the age of 40, still relatively young.
Yes,
nowadays.
Perfect, amazing.
And he wants to come back. Let me read you the details. 40-year-old James DeGale plans a comeback.
Wait a minute, not the one that got beat up by Caleb Truax. He had to fight him twice.
That's him.
Not that one.
That's him. Yes, the one and only.
Oh, okay.
James, because you always used to confuse him with Daniel Gill. See the Gill thing?
Yeah, he's the guy who retired before Billy Joe Saunders, right?
Yes, I believe so. That's a good point. And he's the guy that lost to Chris Eubank Jr., one of the worst fights you'll ever see. So he's planning to make a comeback to professional boxing because he was in a fight not that long ago. He last fought in bare knuckle boxing, and the opponent that they got lined up for him for this professional boxing bout, pugilism in this time around, is against 45-year-old Jamie Cox, who hasn't fought in boxing since 2011, although he also has been staying active, although in the article they say that he's been active in the unlicensed circuit. So he's probably been fighting in, parking garages or something, the same parking garage where Keyshawn Davis was thinking of jumping off of. So, guys, this is a bad news, man, for James DeGale. I don't know, does he need money? Is it just him thinking he threw his late 30s away? Like, what is this? This is disturbing.
I don't know, man. It's ugly is what it is.
Fighters.
Yeah, they don't learn, do they?
Well, if you're a juggler, what do you do? Right? Like, anything.
You keep juggling those balls, man.
If you sell dope, what do you do? Like, you just keep doing it.
That's right.
That's what you do.
Yeah, they don't know when to quit. That's why I always said the Evander Holyfield thing. When he wouldn't quit, and people are like, why won't he quit? Well, think about it. This is a guy he pulled off the Mike Tyson fight. He came back from, allegedly, I don't know if it's true, a hole in his heart. So that mentality he has is when people tell him no, it actually makes him want to do it more. Whereas most of us would probably recoil from that. So that's the mentality he has. That's why they always say some of these all-time greats, you got to beat their careers away. Otherwise, they'll keep coming back.
The only job I can't see that I don't know you continue. What do ex-corn stars do? Like once they can't do it anymore, what do they do?
Crack? I don't know.
That's the only profession I don't know if you can keep doing it.
That's a good point. I thought you were gonna say crack whore, like the Norm Macdonald joke, but
no, I mean, but anything, swimmers, whatever people do to get a buck, right?
You're right.
You can't tell them no.
That's the thing. Imagine that's it's the thing you're best at. And all of a sudden, some pain in the ass comes along and says, "You know what? You can't do it anymore." Your first reaction will probably be, "Well, hold on, I'm the best at this. You can't tell me when." But no, sometimes it's not about whether you want to or not, or whether some people want you to stop because they hate you. It's because you can't do it really. That's the thing.
I mean, because it sucks if you're a teachers can teach till they don't even talk anymore, right? They have all these old ass teachers and politicians. They can keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't put a kibosh on them.
Yeah, but that's the thing. A boxer is it's a different thing because you don't lose piano talent. If you're good at carpentry, you don't lose that. This is a physical sport, so you do lose that. Eventually, and
as long as he can walk, he can get to the ring, BDA.
I understand. Yes, you know what? I understand what you're saying. That who are the people to tell a guy when to? But it's just what it is. It does. Even though we're fucking hardcore boxing fans and we love violence and we want to see a good beating every once in a while. It's still sad to see a guy who has to get but on the other hand, I look at it as, well, look, these guys are a different type of they have a different type of mentality. It's almost like the scorpion and the frog thing. Well, you can't blame the scorpion. It's the same thing with fighters. You can't blame them for not knowing when to quit because that's what they have. They have the fighter's mentality. They're hard-headed.
Well, did you show that? Did you show the Victor Ortiz picture?
Yes, last time out, yeah.
There is a place for old boxers now. That's a thing with we talk like we're humanitarians, but they keep making these avenues that these guys can go.
That's right.
So we're really we're the monsters, not them. Us, the people watching, we're the monsters.
Interestingly, Frank, anywhere else if you retire, they give you the gold watch and they send you to Del Boca Vista. But here they send you to bare knuckle boxing. That's your retirement package. Go get into some bare knuckle fights. Ain't that something? But no, but your point still stands. I mean, it's some of these guys. I mean, it's like I go back to Holyfield when he lost to Larry Donald back in 2004. He got outboxed, and the New York State Athletic Commission said, "Oh no, we're taking your license away." And you're thinking, well, it wasn't that bad a beating. It's just because it's Evander Holyfield. Meanwhile, there's a bunch of other pugs getting their brains bashed in. They never get their licenses pulled, but because it's Evander Holyfield and there's a lot of eyes on him, they had to grandstand. So. Yeah, man.
I would tell you the saddest thing is old rappers. If you ever see the old rapper, I think that's the saddest thing in all of this. Like, you got to stop.
You're right, man. That the old rappers because a rap is always associated with youth, right? It's always because rock has been
badass.
Because rock has been around for so long that you're used to seeing the Beatles get old, the Rolling Stones, U2 now even they're old. But a rapper is always associated with like teenage type stuff. So when you see a 50-year-old rapper with the hat backwards and he's all wrinkled up and he's trying to play the greatest hits. Yeah, the gray beard. He's trying to play the greatest hits. I'm like, oh man, come on. And he's talking about bitches and hoes.
The rhythm is a timing thing, and as you get older, you lose timing. And so you start to hear an old rapper who doesn't have his timing down. The song sounds like crap.
Absolutely. Yeah, rap is not the most difficult thing in the world, but you do find out that it can be difficult when you hear somebody who's never rapped before. That's when you go, okay, yeah, there is, like you said, there is timing and practice and talent that goes into it. So you're right, man.
And I mean, people say rock can go forever. Motley Crue is doing circuses now, not circuses, carnivals now, because nobody wants to see them show up with fat Vince Neil, who can't keep up with the rhythm, can't speak, can't sing as fast anymore. You can't understand him. And Mick Mars looks like a freaking corpse. So, they went from doing the dirt and having this huge tour all across the U.S. to right after that tour was over, they're playing at carnivals.
Yeah, that's sorry,
that's bad. A carnival act. Oh my gosh.
So I mean, people have their expiration dates, no matter who they are or how it comes.
One more. I'll just throw one last one. Like, what about like J-Lo? She's like 60 years old, still shaking that ass.
Yeah, that's they can't.
She don't look too bad. I don't know.
She looks good for her age, but what I'm saying is, look, what Chief said, that's nothing new, man. You know, when these old bands they get old and like some of them get lucky. Like I mentioned, U2, they still have a strong following. They can still fill up a decent venue. They can't fill up arenas like in the '80s, but they can still go. But then you see
Metallica, right?
Or Metallica. Well, I don't know about Metallica. Yeah, okay, Metallica, because I don't know
Metallica. Metallica sells. I promise you.
Okay.
I saw them in Philly they sold out Eagle Stadium twice, and when they played at Virginia Tech, when they played Enter the Sandman, everyone got so loud it measured the Richter scale. So Metallica can still sell.
Well, I wasn't denying that, but I was saying that I don't know because I'm not a Metallica guy. But
Chili Peppers.
But it's sad when you see, because you've seen there were bands like Grand Funk Railroad. I think that was the one. You know, they're playing at a hot dog festival in Galena, Illinois, and you go, oh man, that's, you know, you used to fill out Madison Square Garden, and you're in the Midwest now at a festival, at a carnival. That's. But then again, look, I don't judge either, because hey, man, if you like performing and you're still making money off of it, hey, go ahead, get your rocks off. Why not? Who am I to judge? I'm the guy that's into shortwave radio, so I'm not gonna judge people how they spend their time. Now, I will say that if you don't spend your time listening here, then you are definitely a grade A asshole. But by the way, though, so that's James DeGale. Guy wants to come back. He wants to do Bare Knuckle 2. Oh, that's it. That's all we got. I think we got through everything, fellas. Let's give ourselves a big shout out. We got through everything.
Yay!
What the yay?
BDA, you like to get on the shortwave radio and mess with truckers?
No, that's ham radio. That's ham radio.
I'm trying to talk to Candy Cane.
What was that from? What?
Oh, that movie Joyride. You haven't seen that?
Oh, with Zane. What was his name? Billy Zane. No, what was it?
Steve Zahn or
Steve
something
Zahn.
like that.
Steve
Something
Zahn.
like that.
Yeah. That's,
Why do you have that stuffed animal on the front of the truck? Makes the kids feel more comfortable.
What is that because you're a doomsdayer, BDA? Because that's
I didn't know
the only way you're gonna be able to
my bad.
communicate is through those type of forms.
Well, not for nothing, but if you're talking about ham radio, if everyone's now is all, I got a phone, I got the iPhone, I got this, I got that. Yeah, the internet goes down. What are you gonna do? The phone lines go down. What are you gonna do? Now ham radio, ooh, now you're talking. You can communicate with everybody. But
you can do the podcast from right there.
Yeah, imagine that. Also, you hear all the static. Hey, there's BDA. Hey, maybe we should try that. See who jumps in. You know, Art Bell was a ham radio guy. He would actually jump on the ham radio frequencies and start making cameos.
That's funny.
Wouldn't it be a bunch of other nuts like you? Not you, but anybody using it. Just somebody living in the marsh.
Wouldn't it be other fucking stupid assholes like you, BDA? Like, yeah, I think so.
You know what I meant.
You know, if you have the ham radio, you can actually talk to astronauts if you time it right. That there's video.
Nah, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, of course. It's not that difficult. That's what they do. That's their pastime, the astronauts. They go, hey, when they're orbiting, and they go, let's talk to some ham radio enthusiasts. There's YouTube videos. You can catch people. They know when they're going to pass around the ellipses or whatever they call it, and they catch them. Hey, this is your host, Mr. BDA. What's up, everybody? Hold on a second. That's not it.
Awesome.
Check out this.
Yeah.
Radio enthusiast.
Welcome everybody to the Beatboxing Podcast, broadcasting to you live from the True North. It's a good friend, Mr. BDA, and oh shit, we're losing connection.
That's how it's going to sound. Yeah, that's how it's going to sound eventually. BDA on the ham radio edition. All right, well, listen. I want to give a big shout out to all of you guys on the panel. Shout out to you. I see some people already dropped out. We got the Real Food TV. Shout out to Real Food TV for jumping in. Everybody go check out the Real Food TV. He's been doing live episodes, and I suggest you go watch him because they're highly entertaining. See, what I like about Food TV too is he's not one of those dudes that, I'm just going to turn on the stream and see what happens. Nah, he's got shit planned. Same thing with Frank. Frank A. The boxing with Frank Bay. I always forget. It's Frank Bay Boxing. He comes in.
BDA.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I rebranded.
There you go. What did you say, Sobers? Did you say get to me or what?
No, I said I feel attacked.
Oh, I thought you said now get to me, fucker. Like fuck those guys and get to me first.
No.
No, but you don't have a standard show. It's more like a watch along thing. So in a way, it is preparation. Well, you better be. But yeah, so shout out to Frank Bay. Shout out to Sobers. That's Never Sobers with a Z at the end. Go check out his channel.
Right.
And shout out to Chief too for jumping in. Of course, we also had King Bucho, the co-host and co-creator of this channel, and we had Recognize jumping in as well. So shout out to those. Oh, Uncle Charles, who can forget Uncle Charles? with his words of wisdom. And finally, but not lastly, of course, let's give a big shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm talking about Legal Tender. I'm talking about Greg Terrible. I'm talking about Barry Nivola, MLO, Dark Hey Dog, one of the initiated, Phil Miles, SJW, Pancho Villa, Handsome Mechanic, Mr. Pelavacas. Who else we had? King KO the Great, MLO, Bulbous Order, World Order, that is. King Bucho was keeping an eye on things there as well. Rapax Strong Company 10-4, the Turk Zolotso, Phil Miles. If I forgot anybody, fellas, it's because we got to go. But have yourselves a good night. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. We'll